Well, welcome back to the Supps pod. You might be seeing Ben Marsh in the title of the podcast, but we've got Charlie Beck sat here. Marsh is running behind half an hour, so we're just going to roll it. We'll put a thing on if you want to skip to the point where Marshy gets here.
This might not even stay in, might it? But
no. I'm sure Charlie won't take it personally, will he? If you just skip past all of his bits.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm a guest for another time, aren't I?
Yeah.
When we're a bit bigger,
and
we can
afford
coax
me.
you in. This is
that's fine. Yeah. So
how's editing life at Supps?
Editing life is good, despite the disaster we had the other week.
Oh mate, I know.
We had a bit of a disaster, but other than that.
Do you want to elaborate on the disaster?
Do you know? Matt knows the disaster, don't you?
Me, I know. Yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Wolfie rung me crying.
You are?
We were just crying down phone.
Really?
He had to ring me back.
I was crying to Wolfie.
Charlie was very apologetic, to be fair.
I was very upset with myself. Very, very upset with myself.
We weren't angry. We were just disappointed.
No, you had the right to be angry and disappointed. Like, if you'd have come and you'd have kicked the shit out of me straight after, I'd have just been like, that's fine.
You said.
I said, yeah, I know where you live and that, but Matt was like, nah, let's keep it civil. But
yeah, well, so I went to upload the video. It's very, I don't even want to admit that I was uploading it on the day it was coming out because that's embarrassing in itself. But I went to, as I was uploading it, the hard drive that it was connected to obviously fell off a little 2-foot table and then just broke. And then it just lost everything. And then miraculously, I thought we'd lost all the footage. I don't know if he told you this, but I thought we'd lost it all. And then I was in here like the week after, just after I'd posted the hard drive to get quoted to get it fixed. And then I found an SD card that were in one of these cameras, and it just had that one angle on, and it was just like, oh, thank God.
Ended up being best performing one though so far, doesn't it? Maybe that's the key.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's not end of world, is it? Like,
no,
a lot of people listen to him anyway. But I never knew that data recovery were a thing, and it's like quite a specialised thing, isn't it?
It is a very I learned a lot about that. It's like
we're experts.
They've got to perform. It's like surgery. So they've got to take this hard drive apart in a lab conditions, dust-free zones. And I was at Jasmine's house, my girlfriend's house, and I was just like, get me the screwdriver. I'm going to just take it apart and just do it now.
Fucking hell,
I was about to do it, God. Yeah. And then
that'd have been interesting.
She went, wait a minute. And I Googled it.
Were you losing your head thinking, I need to sort it?
Do not attempt this at home. Everyone was saying, do not attempt this at home. It needs to be laboratory conditions. Yeah.
So we have to thank Jasmine then, really. For
although no, because it don't matter anyway. It's been forfeited anyway, that.
They haven't even sent me it back yet. They emailed me and said it's going to cost you £15 to send it back.
Did they?
To send it back to you, and I was like, okay.
What did they quote you?
I'll have it back. They didn't get to quoting me because we'd found the footage.
Oh, so you just said scrap it. You should have waited and seen what they said.
Yeah, I should have done.
Just out of interest.
But they'd have had to take it apart and probably do a lot of stuff before, so I thought I'd save the time, but. It would have been like you said, probably about 600.
Because you took it to a guy downstairs, didn't you? Computer guy.
He couldn't do it. No.
To be fair to you, Chaz, you were actually gonna pay the 600 quid. Yeah. The commitment to the graft.
Me, you, and Ash could have had 200 each then.
And I didn't even need anything. I didn't even need anything like else on it. It was the annoying part was that it was only that I needed on it.
That's the
so they're sending me it back. I need to chase them up on it, and then one day when I get, the goal is to have a lot of money one day, so I'll just then get it done then, and then.
What, you actually going to get it done? Yeah,
I will do eventually when I'm balling, but 600 quid would have broken me.
It is a lot, though. It
is a lot. I wouldn't have had you paying
for a hard drive as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
madness.
But it was like the worst part was he's traveling, isn't he? Ash is traveling all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like he kind of stopped here just to.
Well, I think redoing it wouldn't have been the same because when someone tells you something and you're like, oh shit.
Well, it went on for 2 hours as well, didn't it? So it was probably the most organic podcast I've ever sat in on. Yeah. You could not have redone that.
We're on about this before, though, weren't we? Like, it's because you want to research a little bit so you know a little bit about the people that are coming on. But then you don't want to look too much because then you get the genuine reactions, the genuine line of inquiry and stuff.
Well, I've found that the more I know about someone, the less engaged I see him in podcast. I feel like the less I know about someone.
Because you're waiting for him to say it. Like you ask him a question, it's like loaded.
And I've already seen it 8 times. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If they've done another podcast, I've already seen what they've said.
Yeah.
Which today with Marshy, we are actually taking a different route. Like he's already done loads of podcasts, so if you want to go back and watch them, just put in Ben Marsh podcast. But we're just going to go down completely different route. Talk about natty bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Don't know why I even got a fucking platform to talk about natty bodybuilding, but
well, when Marsha gets here, that's our platform.
He's not even a bodybuilder though. That's the thing. I suppose it's like moderation.
Well, it don't mean like
enjoying your life and training.
Yeah, I don't think it means. I guess we'll probably should save most of this for when he gets here. But I don't think it means natural bodybuilding, as in.
I don't think it means natural bodybuilding side at all. To be fair, I think I've
I think it just means like body. Well, just I think he does mean natural bodybuilding, but not in like with a goal to compete. I just think he means in general people trying to bodybuild and lifestyle, how they eat and train and supplements and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what it probably means. But we'll find out.
Like enjoying yourself and training, which it's not always easy, but
no, and it does like come a bit of a cost, doesn't it? But we're spilling into this, aren't we?
I don't know what.
I think we are.
We should ask Chaz, really, shouldn't we?
What?
Because you've recently got into the gym quite
past year or so. Yeah, I've been slacking recently. Thanks. I like to think I'm a bit more turned up, but the goal for me is not really to get like massive. I just want to be in good shape.
Yeah,
I think that's most people.
There were a period of time where I didn't want to like take my top off. Like
really?
Yeah, not because I'm like fatter out, but like
it's like skinny.
I was just skinny. I felt like I had nothing really to. I don't have anything to show now, but like I feel comfortable. Like I was in Spain in the summer and I just had it off all the time.
Well, now you just get it off at any shot.
You feel comfortable.
I know you've seen it. You hadn't seen that picture of me, have you? Before I started training.
What the one when you're on the sofa like that?
No, not the sofa. That one before I started training.
That was last week.
Have you got it now? Show Charlie. It's mad.
This would.
I feel like that fucking broadcast is gonna go flying off here.
Do you reckon? Let me see if I can find it.
I feel like you should sit a bit closer there, man.
But I'm
a bit worried about that.
Jen says that I sit too uptight when I'm watching this. She says I sit like a robot or something. So I'm trying to be like a bit more relaxed. And I'm getting complained at now. Hang on.
His posture's like perfect. I've noticed when you all like that.
I know it was, but then that's what Jen were on about. She was saying you sit too strict and like an android.
I need to stop fidgeting me like a fidget like mad. Doing it now.
There's like a million. I never took any pictures. Me and Jen never took any pictures. And then as soon as Hallie's born, it's just like 40 million pictures of her.
On iPhone, you can type in like keywords.
What am I supposed to type in?
Like
skinny bitch and all that comes up.
No top.
Let me type it. Skinny.
That'll bring up all the wrong photos.
Rig out.
Skinny bitch. Picture of Charlie on it.
Is it? I'm gonna say it.
Well, when I said skinny bitch, I only wound you up.
Yeah.
Oh, we could actually use this time to divulge into.
There you go. Come here.
Oh, look at this.
That was the day I started
mad.
training. 21. Yeah, 9 plus 10.
Can we flash that up on screen, or is it too?
It's a little bit.
It is a little
maybe
bit.
I don't know.
You've got.
I don't know.
I feel like a certain amount of time goes by though, and you don't care.
Obviously,
well,
Matt still
that's a different case,
feels it.
Yeah.
What's the guy, the baby off the Nirvana album? He's still sulking.
Oh yeah, but
is he fuck? He's wanting that bank.
No, I just want some money.
Is that still ongoing? That
I don't know.
It's ridiculous if it is, because apparently he
He's
bragged
shared
about
it.
it to
Yeah,
all
exactly.
his
He
mates.
shared about it a million times, but I don't know. But yeah, that were literally the morning where, because I finished my dissertation at uni, handed it in, and then
Who took that photo?
Probably Jem, I think. Will have been.
Why did she take it? Just like she looked happy.
I said, take this picture. I look fucking stacked.
I remember. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like literally that day. It was that kind of week. I would just because I were 8 stone 4 in that picture.
Really?
Yeah, 6 foot 8 stone 4
well. Yeah.
is really, really like malnourished, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but it got like do you know those recliner sofas, like where you pull the thing and leg
Oh,
shut down.
Yeah.
I couldn't shut it whilst I was sat on it.
Really?
I had to get off and kick it shut. and I was like,
What were your diet like? And
like
just
I don't
horrendous?
know, maybe a pot noodle and a bag of crisps for the day. That was something like, it was really, really
God,
bad.
man.
And while in uni, I was like suffered really bad with anxiety as well, which proper like chops your appetite and everything, done it. So it were, but I were there trying to shut it and couldn't, and I were just like, this needs to change.
Did you play games and stuff like video games?
Yeah.
Did you?
Did you ever play sport or not?
Not really. Like I played in like obviously like PE at school. I did like little bits of other things. Like I was quite into bouldering a little bit. You know, like
bouldering,
wall climbing without ropes.
Yeah. I thought I was thinking of tumbling.
I was thinking,
I was quite into badminton at school. I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah,
but it was just like I couldn't be that week. Like, do you know what I mean? It just wasn't going to happen. So I was just sure I'm going to finish my dissertation, hand it in. I'm going to join the gym.
Yeah.
And I went and obviously drove to Leeds, handed my dissertation in, and I didn't have anything on for the rest of the day. So drove from there straight to Muscle World.
Did you? Fucking hell.
And got my membership.
Did you feel proper on edge when you were in Muscle World?
Well,
First time?
Because I went, didn't I, when I were in year 11 a little bit before, so I knew Scott.
Yeah.
Anyway,
oh, did you know Scott?
So I'd already spoken to him before I joined, and we're like, look, I'm like, fucked. I need to sort some stuff out. Will you help me a bit? And he was like, I'll give you a couple of sessions. He's not the one. I mean, he is the one to go train with for intensity. He's an absolute animal. But I went, so bearing in mind.
I bet he just wanted to kill you, didn't he?
He fucking did.
I can imagine. Yeah.
When I first started on the Smith machine.
Yeah.
I had 5 kilos either side on the Smith machine, and I couldn't move it.
Fucking hell, that is.
Couldn't move it.
It's like negative weight almost.
It almost takes itself up.
Yeah.
But I couldn't move it. I had to like properly grind to get one. Scott were expecting me to do like 30. Yeah. And he just kind of went, I think he were like shocked at how weak I was at the time.
Yeah.
So it was
how old were you there?
21.
21.
Oh, you were 21 as well.
Yeah. Really
bad.
Are
you 30 now?
31 now, yeah.
31.
So 10 years.
Jeez, Matt.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? But I can do the 5 kilos.
It's kind of it's mad how just you deciding to go to the gym. You wouldn't be here right now if not.
No.
We wouldn't even know each other.
No, well, when I was 21,
know Charlie either.
When I was 21, you were probably in preschool, weren't you?
If I didn't go to gym.
Well, Wolf Supps would have never probably started.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, because we met at Muscle World, didn't we?
Yeah.
In fact, we met through Geordie.
Did we?
Genuinely, yeah, because I were mates with Geordie.
Oh yeah, I used to see you in gym, and you were one of them guys that in my head I'd built up to be like my enemy in gym.
Oh, right.
Do you ever have them guys?
No.
Do you not? Do you?
I did have for a little bit, but not anymore.
Do you know when you see someone in gym and you're like, oh, they're just fucking miserable prick, but you know if you got to know them, they'd be sound.
Yeah, I'm not going to put this in.
There's a lot of people that piss me off in the gym, but I know that's kind of my problem because I get really annoyed by little things.
Yeah. I do in like 5-a-side football. I play that every week. And there's always someone on the other team that you just like, you've got beef with.
Just fucking knobheads.
But it's like me and every other player will have beef with each of their team. We never have beef with the same player.
Oh, really?
It's like, yeah. So like Harry had beef with someone last night, but he were on our team last night. This guy, Harry, he thought he was so sick. He thought he was so sick, not passing to me.
Have you got any have you got any gym beef with anyone at the minute? Like that in the one that you've manifested?
No, the thing is now I feel like at the times I go to the gym, I speak to everyone there. I make an effort to say all right.
It's hard now, isn't it? Because you've got a brand.
Well, like it's one of them. Like a lot of if someone knows someone and I know that other someone, then I'm going to be introduced to them. So whereas before, if I'd go in and just train in my own space, I feel like there were a guy at Muscle World, and I used to think you'd know him. I won't say his name. And I used to think he's such a fucking prick. Yeah, and I used to think he's staring at me all the time. What a fucking knobhead. And then like a year later, I'm like fucking proper good mates with him. Do you know what I mean? And I still speak to him now.
Trying to think who you're going to have to tell me afterwards.
I'll tell you, yeah. It's not...
Well, you can cut it out, I guess, can't you?
It's not even going to make a difference, like, me saying it on pod, because no one will have a fucking clue. That camera's doing a madness, by the way.
It's always like the standard stuff. The War 1, actually...
Oh, were they?
You've reminded me now, and it's...
In gym group?
It's pissed me off, yeah. And it wasn't who you think, right?
Are we rolling, by the way?
Yeah. Are we?
Go on.
Right. but you weren't making sure you've got the incriminating evidence.
No.
I don't even know what she was called.
Oh, it were a lass. You had gym beef with a lass.
Yeah, she used to piss me off like massively.
So
never spoke to, obviously, yeah. But it were there were more plastic.
Is this at gym group? This?
Yeah. There were more plastic in her face than in the ocean.
Right.
It was ridiculous. But she used to go. This is why it pissed me off. Right, she'd set up like you're doing like a landmine press or something.
Yeah.
So she'd set it up with the plate. So you put like, I saw her put 225s and a 10 on.
Yeah.
No warm up, straight over there. 225s and a 10. Not being harsh,
decent,
but a lass to do that. I mean, she could have been doing it double arm, I suppose, but still a lot of weight to
it's a good amount.
Go straight in at. And didn't see her do a set with it. Saw her take a picture of it with her there with some silly poses in mirror, and then just did she bollocks take it off? Fucking left it.
Oh, that's yeah.
Went over to enter Smith machine, put weights on that with bench, did the worst Bulgarian split squats I've ever seen in my life. It were about, remember Ryan? Yeah, half at Ryan. Yeah. Yeah, and half's generous. They were hardly anything, and she spent the time resting, admiring herself, scrolling through a phone, and then just like looking around the gym with the most miserable expression on her face ever. But it really annoyed me, like leaving all weights on.
That's what you get for going to gym group, though, Matt. You've got to admit.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but because I were like, because one of the people had a word with her, like that worked there.
Yeah,
and then she came and did it again.
I hadn't seen
her in ages.
Let me show you someone.
5-6 months.
Tell me you want this lass.
Do you know it's funny that when you go to the gym at different times, there's always different set of people there?
I went.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I went today, but this is what we're about. Like you before a little bit. You've got to be careful now, because Wolf Supps is kind of, people know about them locally, don't they?
Mm.
You can't be, when you're associated with them, you have to be a bit more like.
Who's this? Like
just anyone. Normally, if you could say what you want to anyone, it doesn't matter. No repercussions. I was a little bit restricted. When
what, as in like as in like going at them and say like being shitty with them?
Yeah, well, like when I were a teacher, I was a little bit restricted as well, because I think you've got that kind of you can't say shit to anyone. And then when I left that, I had that liberation. But then Wolf Supps were kind of taking off a little bit, so it's like, well, we're on about it on phone, weren't we? Because there were a really, really nice guy when I was coming out of Asda.
They'll probably be listening to this today.
Maybe, yeah. Shout out, Matt.
From Asda.
But yeah, I was coming out of Asda, and there were a guy that sort of just said, "Oh, you're right," and we were chatting. He's like, "Oh, watching the podcast, really like him," and he was a proper nice dude, and we just had a little bit of a chat and then drove off. But you never know now when you're in the gym, because sometimes people just look like randomly, don't they?
Yeah.
Just between sets, you're not really paying attention, and then sometimes people have that invisible beef with you. And you think, what the fuck have I done? They're just staring.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be like if you're having it's very rare it happens, but if you're having a good physique day, sometimes they might look and be like, oh yeah, you're looking all right, you know, whatever. But then you don't know which one it is. It might also might be, oh, hang on, he's that divvy
I feel like
podcast.
a lot of people will probably like, not in like a cocky way, but like a lot of people will probably know, like, they'll know the brand, and
it's because we look really
more
locally
people will
pitched,
actually watch the video than you think, but not a lot of people will actually come up and say, "Oh, I know you from the video."
I've had a
like, there's so many people I know and you know that they don't know you, but you know them.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're never going to say anything to them, are you? But
no.
So I think that's what it probably is as well.
But it's when people are looking at you now, or you catch them maybe sort of half looking. You're now wondering what the reason. It makes you a bit paranoid.
Yeah.
I think
it does indeed, mate. That's what I don't like gym when it's busy anymore, because I don't know whether I'm just a paranoid person, which I think I am, but it just gives me mad anxiety.
Yeah, because it's when you're trying to get on stuff as well. It's when you're trying to train, and some people as well take forever on a machine. Like there's times, this is one of the other gym pet peeves, when you go in and it's like you can blast like three different exercises, you're doing 4 sets, resting 90 seconds between, and they're still on it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
They're on there all day.
Like, how can you possibly be
doing? Do you ever ask anybody how many
sets
they've got?
Yeah, always. Yeah, well, what I try and do, because I do full body, so you can sort of change, a little bit of flexibility in terms of the order of the exercises. Like, you don't want to be doing, hamstring curls, then leg extensions, and then go and try and PB a squat. That's not, that's a bit fucked. But, hamstring curls and leg extensions don't really matter which way around you do it.
No.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing like a back and your chest, you can pretty much do them whichever way around you want.
I never have anything set in stone anymore with my training, so it's like if someone's on it, I just do something else.
Sound.
How have you been?
I'm good, man. I've just been a bit rushed today. Like, I've just started like YouTubing again.
Oh, sweet.
So I've had like 5 months off. Bang that there. I've had 5 months off, and then it's just like when you kind of with stuff like that, there's so many little things you want to have ready, like, I don't know, story shares, thumbnails, stuff like that. You don't really think about, and then when it comes round to it today, I was like doing all these little things and just running out of time more than anything.
Yeah, it's just busy, man, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It takes a lot, doesn't it? Like YouTube, just there's so many little bits that go into it that people don't even like consider.
Even down to just the consistency of the upload, you get penalised, don't you, if you don't upload at the same time, and you got to get the footage. You've then got to sift through it because not all of it's good, and then you got to clip it and edit it, and I don't know how you do it. Yeah,
it's long, mate. It's very long, especially like when it's not even something that I make money from. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a huge commitment, and
it'll come though. Well, that side obviously won't it? It's
hopefully,
just
mate,
got to build to it. Definitely.
And if it doesn't, I try not like worry too much about if and when it does come, and just enjoy the journey. Do you know what I mean? Like,
road's better than the end.
Yeah, of course. And so it's like even the videos that I have done in like the last year and stuff, like I wouldn't have ever shot them if it wasn't for like the motive of like wanting to get YouTube going and whatever. So, and I love them videos, the ones that I've done. I've got like holding my nephew for the first time that I never would have filmed otherwise, and
nice.
Being best man, which I've uploaded today at Danbo's wedding. Like I wouldn't have done that as a vlog. I might have had like a few little bits to maybe a few photos from it, but now that I've actually got like a vlog from it, we've got it forever now. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't know that actually. I think you, there's someone I went to school with, your mate, Matty Smithson.
Yeah, he's like my best mate. So he's the other best man in it.
Did he get to
you were in my year at school.
Is he guy with
sound?
Long hair.
He used to play a bit of bass and that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Proper sound lad. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's me and him who are best men on it. Yeah, he's
nice.
a right boy. Yeah, he's a right lad.
Yeah.
I was thinking it sounds a bit daft, obviously, given your videography background and your editing background. Yeah. Would you ever pay an editor to do your shit, or would you just?
I've tried, mate. I've tried.
Have you? Yeah.
Like I don't think I could ever do it with my vlogs. Maybe I could do it with some of my work. But even then, sometimes people might book me to film weddings who are like out of Wakefield or out of West Yorkshire, and I'll be like, people who are going to see this video won't know that I've passed it on because they won't know me, essentially. So with them ones, I don't really mind passing them on. But if it's someone like local who books me, I'm always like, I need to do the full job myself because eyes are going to be on it, and if it's like not up to
that's true,
what I think is my standard, then I don't want anyone to think it's
get Charlie in on some editing. He only loses it some of the time, doesn't he? So
he only what? Sorry,
you missed it before. We had a nightmare.
Oh, I lost footage.
Yeah, some footage you're missing. So
yeah, that's like everyone's worst nightmare, really.
Do you know what? What would be the absolute worst is losing fucking wedding footage, man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done that.
No, I haven't. But that's like that sort of thing is a lot of people's like why they don't take wedding jobs on, because they feel like there is like this responsibility.
Do you back it all up and stuff?
Yeah, I've got everything backed up a couple of times.
Straight away.
Want, like, backup cameras
as soon as I can. But I've been to a couple of, because I get pretty boozy at these weddings, or a lot of them anyway, and I've done them like with the ones that I do abroad especially. I always like, once I've kind of done filming from like 10 p.m, I get fully involved.
So you just get pissed up and just...
I've woken up in the morning on a couple of occasions where I've been like, where is my bag? I swear to God, with everything in it.
God.
And then say, like, people are just kind enough that they'll see that I'm drunk or whatever, and they'll put it to one side and look after it for
me. You're not selling yourself.
I know I'm not, mate, but there's people who I've been with where they've been like, oh my God, what have you done? And then it's all worked out for the best, but you're right, I'm not selling myself, so I should try.
Well, normally on these we go into all background stuff, but I am aware you've done quite a few before.
Well, what I said to you, I was like, I don't really want to do all the background stuff. I feel like every time I watch a local podcast, the first half an hour is like asking people who they are, where they come from and stuff.
It's all like
when I watch
as
other
well,
people on pods, I'm always like, I don't see that, because you don't really get that. They tend to be like famous people. People know the background, not saying they're famous, but people know the background. I don't watch anyone that I'm into to hear what they're done, because I know about it. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. So, what are some of the podcasts you've done, just for people?
I've only done a couple.
They can go back and watch them, and obviously if you want a background on Ben, if you don't have a fucking Scooby who we sat here talking so much.
I've done a couple of very low key ones that are maybe not even worth mentioning. They might be a little bit older than, no offense to whoever I might have been with. But my other one that I guess, which is on YouTube that you can watch, is Fully Game.
I've watched that one.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it. They're good lads. I didn't know them before that, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. I feel like they're smashing it as well, aren't they? I don't know if you like look.
I've seen, they're doing well, aren't they, on YouTube?
Yeah, they're doing well, man.
But it's just about that consistency in it, like you say.
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel like we want to, I suppose we want to get a general topic for this podcast, and you seem to be in quite good nick yourself. And obviously,
most of the time, I feel like my last trip was about a month ago, and then from that point on, because I knew that I was done for the summer, like going on trips, I was just like in my head, I was like, right, you don't really need to be holding down the diet no more, and it's
clocked off a
bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, I need to start. I want to start bulking, actually, like making the most of what I'm doing. But for now, I'm just like enjoying what I'm enjoying, and you very quickly like lose your shape.
Yeah. How long you been training for?
For a long time, like maybe like 13 years or something.
Right.
So nice.
Yeah. Have you always like balanced the party life, traveling side of stuff?
I try to balance it all. Like I don't party too much nowadays, maybe like I used to. But even then, it was not like I was like. I would still maybe once or twice a week like booze and stuff. It was never like, out of hand, but I'm very much more like a balanced kind of guy in terms of I want to enjoy food, I want to enjoy booze, I want to stay in best shape I can, like, but without like any of them being compromised. You know what I mean? So,
I think that describes most people, though, doesn't it? Really, like if you go and ask your general person, they want to be in like good nick and train and have the abs and all that stuff, but there's no way. That say because most people don't want to give up drinking, they don't want to give up the pizza. There was a mate of mine actually a long time ago that said like he had like a flat stomach but no abs, and he was like, I just like to think that I've got a 6-pack. It's just there's a slice of pizza in front of him, and that's basically what like his, because he's like I look all right, I'm happy with how I look, but then I get to go and have a kebab and a pint when I want it. So it's about finding the balance.
Oh, does he train as well?
Most people, he trains as well, and he looks all right. Like he's like. I guess to use the sort of colloquial term, toned. Like you can see, he's goes to the gym and he's got a little bit of muscle definition and whatever. But he's not like someone you go, he's a bodybuilder. Yeah. But you can tell he trains, but he also enjoys his life as well. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Unless you're wanting to compete or all like that, it's
of course. What's the point in like giving so much sacrifice to what? Like, and we're still in better shape than like majority of people. Like even if you're not rigged, you're not got like abs and stuff, like there's no one who's going to be like, oh, you're out of shape. In terms of girls, and then in terms of lads, like it's whatever.
Girls don't really give a fuck anyway.
Of course, mate. People love dad bods and that. So
it's mad, isn't it?
I feel like I could maybe pack on another 3 stone yet or something, and then,
is that the plan?
Hopefully.
With that, I sent you it, didn't I? Like I think you must have seen it because it was quite popular. But it was like someone put a picture up of, you have to see if you can sling it on Charlie afterwards. I'll send you it, but it's like a picture of Chris Bumstead like in the off season, and he's still jacked to the nines. He's got like really good shoulders, still got very good definition. Yeah. And this guy, it's like an Instagram thing, and this guy's showing this bird this picture. It's like, oh, what do you think? There's a few of them, and they're like, oh, like giving him a number, and one of them goes dad bod. And you think, fuck me, like he's got
they call
off-season Chris Bumstead dad bod, and he's like, you can still see faint outline of abs. His shoulders are like massive.
I think when people are like that big though, got that much muscle mass, and then they have got a bit of body fat on them, and people who don't really know what they're looking at, I think they can like get it wrong and think they are just like big weighty people. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I've not seen the thing, but dad bod is obviously a stretch.
Yeah, but whose fucking dad is it? Like the whole.
He's in impeccable shape.
Well, his genetics are like top 0.0001%. And if he's chalked up as a dad bod, we're all fucked, aren't we? Really, with that.
That's the kind of shit you don't want to see on Instagram, because that's what gives your body dysmorphia, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, well it's like I told you, didn't I? Like it's little, because you said the same thing. I had boiler maintenance guy come round, and last time he saw me, we're like at the peak of a bulk, and then this time I was just starting really. Yeah. And he comes in and he's just got no filter at all. I love him to bits for that, but he'll just go, "Whoa, have you stopped training?" I just nearly threw myself out.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Is that when you get slimmer?
Yeah, it's obviously because when you're in clothes, you look a lot. You look, when you bulk, you look big, don't you? But obviously when you're lean, in clothes, you look like you've never entered a gym before.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. But obviously he don't really train, and you just think, oh, fucking hell. Like, and then you had it in post office, didn't you?
Oh mate, yeah, I still think about it pretty much every fucking day.
What's that?
I walked in and he goes, "Fucking hell," he says, "Have you stopped?" What did he said? "Have you stopped training?" I think.
I thought he said, "Have you not been well?"
Oh no, he said, "Have you stopped training?" or something like that. And I'm like, "No, mate, no, I've been bang at it." So I look like you've lost some size.
Can't recover
and
from that.
them words are just ringing in my head all the time.
Sure.
But for me, like, I'm not that bothered anymore. I've got to a point. I've been training now for, I'd say 8 years. I'd say the first 4 years were quite serious, and now it's like I'm just more confident in myself. So it's like I'm not bothered about my fucking rig.
That's an important thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Happy and confident in yourself.
I think training for me is more for the mental side of it.
Yeah,
and just doing something to push yourself.
Yeah,
I know you're quite body obsessed, aren't you? But
it's not like
joking.
it's like, for me, it's progress obsessed.
Yeah, that's true.
I always want to be better in some regard, either to lift a bit more weight, or with a bit better form, or to have a bit more definition, or one of those things. It's always I can't just keep it ticking over.
No.
It has to be like a progress thing for me.
Yeah.
So I know I'll never be like, the biggest or the most ripped or whatever guy, but I'm not after that. I'm just after. It sounds a bit cliche. I'm just after being a bit better of me.
So on that subject, with you boys, would you ever? I don't know if you're willing to talk about fucking steroids.
I don't know. I've got like a natural body transformation video on YouTube.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen that. But
I probably have. Yeah.
I saw like a 5-week one.
No, I've done like my whole life video. It's like half an hour long. Where because at times I'd like to say I've been in really good shape. I wouldn't say so at the moment, but I feel like at times I've set some levels. Like, but I've done like really quite a comprehensive breakdown of how I got to like certain shapes and stuff, and I really like let it know that I've done it.
You've not done,
stuff, But like I've literally had nothing ever, like no pre-workouts, nothing.
Oh
ever.
wow, so proper.
I've just done whey protein and I
actually counting calories and stuff.
Yeah. But I ain't counted calories now for like a year.
Do you just count them when you're dieting, or?
But even when I'm dieting, like I just eat the same stuff every day. The stuff that I know got me in like good shape.
It's like intuitive eating. And
yeah, sure. I feel like once you've like weighed stuff out for like enough time, you've got a good idea like what does what. Like, I mean, what correlates to what in terms of how much porridge is in calories. and stuff, do you know what I mean?
You can just
I guess the thing is as well, like, no 2 days you're gonna burn the same amount. It depends on your sleep. It depends on your activity, how stressed you are.
Of course.
So many factors. There's no way, like, if your maintenance is 2,500, say, there's no way every single day your body burns 2,500 calories. One day might be 2,000, the next day might be 3,000. It just averages out, obviously, at that. So you get kind of good at eyeballing, don't you, stuff, and you you can take it a bit easier. But I think you almost need to do the really methodical bit to start with.
Oh,
and
man,
then you kind of...
I think it's like such a important lesson that everybody should go through, is like weighing your stuff out, like starting to learn like your macros and whatnot, because your majority of people, maybe like 99% of people won't ever do that.
Don't have a clue,
and to live like an entire life, I don't know, 80 years, 90 years, where you literally don't even know what you're eating. I don't mean the ingredients. I just mean like how much roughly, like I don't know, protein and calories are in certain things. People ain't got a clue. That's why people start dieting and start thinking that hummus is part of a diet. They'll be dipping cucumber in it, eating loads of hummus.
And peanut butter.
Yeah, and peanut butter and shit. Won't even be doing anything for them, do you know what I mean? No. So many people like will never have an idea what they're eating. And I think it's fascinating, when you first get into it.
Oh, yeah.
And you start being like, all right, so this is going to do this.
There's
so much to it. It's
quite eye-opening, isn't it, as well, when you first start. Sure. And I think for a lot of people it would be, because you ask some people, and it's like, I've just got a really slow metabolism. I don't really eat that much, but I'm like 20 stone. And it's like, well...
Underactive thyroid.
Exactly. It's... It just can't happen.
Of course.
Obviously, you get that flexibility, but you can't get to that size without overeating. You can't. It's literal science or literal thermodynamics. You don't get bigger unless you consume
and I think
more energy
the world
than
that we live in, like people need to be aware of the calorie intake and the calories in certain food, because before it was harder to get overweight, because there weren't as many
refined,
fast food
was it?
restaurants, and
it wasn't as eat, like, that's the thing.
It all in your face, were it? So like you could probably get away with just eating intuitively, and you'd never get fat.
Yeah,
because of your lifestyle. But nowadays you need to be on it, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
We went to, so when I started my teacher training, one of the things they kind of did for like enrichment were they brought, because they were on about the fact that, you know, because teaching lifestyle's crap, like because you can't.
Well, a lot of teachers are overweight, aren't they? In really bad.
Oh
bad
yeah,
nick.
yeah. Well, you can't drink through the day, really, because if you've got because you can only go to the toilet at break time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And if you're on duty at break time, you might have period 1. Well, you got your form for half an hour. Period 1, period 2. You might have a break duty. Then you might have to do periods 3 and 4, and you might be period 5 before you can go for a piss. So you can't be risking drinking water.
Well, you can't sneak out for. Well,
Depends where you were. Like for when I were in the science block, for me to go to the toilet and come back was at least 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
and that's kind of bolting it, shoving kids out of the way, getting there, like, and then running back.
Yeah.
And obviously, lesson change over time. It's a safeguarding risk. If you've got kids in your corridor without you there, and they're shoving each other into classrooms and battering each other with fire extinguisher and stuff like that, and that's on you because they're your responsibility at that point. So you can't do it. So you don't drink. I used to drink like maybe 500 milliliters of water throughout the entire day when I was teaching, which is not healthy at all.
purposely as well.
Yeah, because you need to keep it low because then you don't.
So
need
you're deliberately dehydrating yourself.
Yeah,
It's fucking wild, isn't it?
it's mad. But one of the things, so in this thing, they were on about like, you know, teaching can be an unhealthy lifestyle and whatever. So they were on about like tips for eating and stuff like that. They brought some people in, and the first question, like, there must be about 100 of us in this room with teacher training. And they go, right, does anyone here actually weigh their food, like in the ways and no one's going to do it? I went,
Yeah.
What, as in like demonising the people who do, like
Yeah.
trying to kind of.
but then there was like, do you actually weigh your food? I went,
What, like they were saying, oh, no one weighs the food.
yeah,
surely.
but then some woman next to me went, well, I ain't got time to weigh my food. I was like, what do you mean? It's not like an hour-long job.
I think that's like everyone's misconception of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That like people who've never done it before do think it's long, but it's really like throughout the course of a day. Once you get in the groove of it, anyway, might be like 10 minutes over every meal, like 10 minutes all in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a long
I mean,
time.
when you get into it, it probably don't even take that, does
Yeah,
it? Like
yeah,
if you think
sure.
you just have your scales on, you know, right? Get, you know, put your rice in, 100 grams, brilliant. Take it out, right? Chicken breast goes on. It doesn't take that much time.
No, I don't.
But I were almost like laughed at by an entire room of people.
Yeah, it's
for,
kind
like,
of odd to
for
take your
weighing
health
my food.
seriously. isn't
They
it?
were basically like, you know, what a weirdo. And it's like, hang on a minute, out of the two of us, you're the one with the issue, really,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like, you know, you look like shit.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think there's more merit for someone who's just wanting to lose weight? Would you think there's more merit in saying to them just try and focus on eating healthy or calorie count? Because obviously long term, I could never imagine calorie counting long term. And obviously if they've gotten overweight in the first place,
Just everyone needs to do it for like a year of their life.
just to have some
Just
kind
to
of
get an idea of like, it's just like the sauces and that, because people just don't know what like condiments are,
That's true.
how many like calories they're reckoning into and stuff like that. I feel like when you do a little phase of like calorie counting and stuff, it's just them little lessons of like realizing that banging a bit of ketchup on might boost it up by this and peanut butter and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, and like
So-
butter and
I think you just need to do it just for a little bit of time, so you just get an understanding of what you're eating.
yeah. Going back to the steroids topic, would you ever do?
I will probably do TRT
Would
once
you?
I've had a couple of kids.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I'll see how I feel when it comes around to it, but I think that probably will happen. Yeah, I think I've listened to enough pods and stuff where I've been like, that is just seems like the right thing to do from what I gather. Do you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
my approach and all.
Yeah,
I said
I might be. I'm 32 now. I'm 33 next week.
Oh, nice.
I might be 40. I reckon when I do it.
Yeah.
I'll have a couple of kids. I'll have had a couple of kids, and then we'll see what happens.
Is the word vitality the right word?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Or like, as in making the most of your life.
I mean, I guess so, yeah.
Testosterone back. Because
You mean, so you're not
because
like...
longevity and vitality are two completely different things.
Yeah,
right?
one's like quality and one's like the length of it. You mean?
Because you'd say TRT could potentially knock off the longevity of your life. Is that a fair point?
I guess
I haven't
it
seen
depends.
anything that suggests that it does.
If it's true TRT,
Just-
it's not, because you're literally just replacing what your bollocks are doing.
Yeah.
Aren't you? If it's because most people do like the TRT plus
Gym TRT.
or- yeah, gym
Yeah.
TRT, so they can still claim 90.
Well, in having higher levels of testosterone hindering your longevity, though?
I think
not just even if you've naturally higher testosterone.
Yeah, I think so. I think there is some. I'm not. I'll be honest. I've not looked into it like massively, but I do seem to think there's some sort of loose link between higher testosterone and slightly longer, slightly shorter lifespan.
Because it's that question, and it's like HGH as well. Supplementing with that as you get older, you probably feel amazing, but obviously it's not doing your longevity any good.
I think growth's a bit different. I honestly think. Like if you could supplement it with growth, like doing it in like a therapeutic sense, I think there's a lot to be gained from that.
Yeah.
Personally, it's just really expensive, and obviously then because it's expensive, it's counterfeited a lot, so you don't know if you're getting bunk stuff and whatever. But if I had the money, I would do it tomorrow. I think with that.
Would you?
Yeah. But the other thing is as well, like when you stop taking it, your own system kicks back in pretty quick. Not like with because you can ruin yourself, with your own testosterone production, can't you?
Yeah, I feel like once you commit to that TRT, that's it. Then,
I think that's the rub in it. Once you're on TRT, you're on it. Then
apparently so, yeah. I don't know loads about it, to be honest.
You can come off and can recover because people do. Like you look at like the strongmen and stuff, like that have had kids and stuff after. When there's no way, like with the doses they take, they're fertile. Yeah. But then they have kids, and then all of a sudden they're back on. So it's possible. But I just think the mindset probably should be once you're on it, you're on it.
The thing that worries me about that is like, what if you had to go to war or something daft?
What if you had to, that's where you want to be jacked, mate.
Yeah, I know, but then you can't get your TRT, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, if there's a shortage.
Do you know what I mean? Is that a daft thing to think about?
They make it,
Got to be always ready for everything on your
Yeah, you just stick it in your suitcase, I suppose.
It's soy, innit? It comes from.
They could jab out soldiers up, to be fair, couldn't they?
Like what
makes sense, doesn't it?
Quite easy.
Might as well be absolutely blasting them.
Yeah.
You just give a guy
if you want a chance against them,
him go and storm a trench. Well, that's the thing that you'd want to be geared up, wouldn't you? If you were going to fight, you want to be thinking, right, my stamina and strength and everything's through the roof.
Exactly.
That's true.
You don't want to be jumping on the things going, I'm natty. There's no use to it at that point, is it? You want to be like geared up to the nines.
I just worry that if you ever couldn't get the supply of testosterone, you'd be like walking around like a 5-year-old girl, and you're like, no testosterone.
It is so plentiful, though, I think. And I guess you could always, because it lasts for a while, so you could always have a decent stocking and keep replenishing it. So you've got, 2 years worth, so you can always go find some other supplier in that 2 years.
So what's put you off taking gear up until now? And obviously you've done a natural.
I think really, like, if you're taking gear, the only it's only really necessary if you're really wanting to go far. I think with bodybuilding and stuff, and I'm into it. Like, I follow my bodybuilders, and I won't be like, oh, don't do that. But I think for the average Joe, just kind of doing it for the sake of like, what, some good photos on holiday or something. I think that's just nuts.
Yeah, we're on about this with Ash, aren't we?
Yeah,
which a lot of people do get roped into, don't they?
Of course, mate, definitely. People just want like quick shortcut for everything, don't they? And I think you can be in great shape. Like I feel like the average guy's ideal physique is like Brad Pitt in Fight Club or something.
Just lean.
Like you don't even, I don't know, people just get a couple of things done and just hope for the best sort of thing. You just need to diet for a bit and be a bit consistent, and I'm sure most people will be happy with what they want. And then you've got your people who, if they do want to get proper one, they are going to get on. They're going to have to get on something. But do you want that to be like? How long's your plan of like trying to look like that? Like, what are you going to last all this stuff just so you can be one for a year and then like get bored of doing that and not do it no more? I don't know what like the health implications would be with that, but
that's the problem though, isn't it? Like, everyone wants it quick, and people don't really think about the long term ramifications of it, do they?
I think that's the problem. But it's interesting you mentioned like Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
Yeah.
How old's that movie?
Yeah.
Because if you look at like the male kind of protagonist now, you've then got like your Chris Hemsworth or your Henry Cavill.
They're more like superheroes and shit, though.
But even like Henry Cavill in Witcher,
right?
Or Superman. He's big, and I don't know whether he's been on gear or not, but there was one. I think it might have been one of the earliest episodes of The Witcher where he's in that, and it kind of gets out of this bath, and he's like properly diced and big as well. And for most people to get that, it's maybe impossible. Obviously, even if he is 90, he's obviously got some good genetics, and then the money to pay for like trainers, chefs, the best dietitians, which your average dude don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a little bit of a problem there that the benchmarks moved a little bit. Even you look at like Wolverine.
Well, it probably has nowadays, just because there's that much of it. Like it's become this thing in society, and through Instagram and stuff that you just see people rigged up all the time. Like you see, your Discover page, or mine anyway, is just full of like rigged up people.
Yeah, mine as well.
Times I'm like,
what have I been searching?
Yeah, definitely,
yeah.
But I think it's almost like one of the biggest things on Instagram. I don't even know if it's just me what I'm into. I think that's just like become one of the things that everyone's like chasing this thing, looking super rigged, aren't they?
Well, young lads nowadays are getting into the gym out. They're like, as young as like 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking mad, really.
But I think I guess the kind of terrifying thing is that then also some kids really young are starting gear. Like there were a thing on. Do you watch any of Derek like More Plates, More Days stuff? That lad that were 14 that just decided to start doing Tren.
Yeah.
And he looked like he'd never even been in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like just decided to do Tren.
Yeah.
And it's like, hang on, let's just rewind that sentence a little bit. And it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
because at 14, you full on knacking a lot of stuff up there.
Of course.
Jumping on, pharmaceuticals at that age. Mm-hmm. Terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when did you start training? 20?
So I was doing parkour from when I was like 15 to like 18, 19. And even in that time, not that I was good at it, but I definitely saw my physique starting to come together. There's photos of me when I'm like 17, I've got 6-pack and whatever.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then maybe for the next maybe the next 3 or 4 years, when I stopped doing that, started going out boozing, smoking and stuff like that, put on a bit of weight. And then I had my first PT when I was like 22 maybe.
Yeah.
And then from that point, really, I've always just tried keeping up to it.
Always kept up to it, as well as going out drinking and enjoying yourself.
Yeah. But as I say, like, I've never been a big boozer by like other people's standards.
Have you not?
I mean, like when I go out and I'm boozing, like I'll drink till I drop, sort of thing. Like like sinking. I like sinking pints.
Well, I thought that on the.
But in terms of like, I've not been someone who's like been boozing like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
If you don't have fans, so you don't want. If you're gonna have like a session and you're gonna drink, how much would you have? Like in terms of pints, what's the number you would have? Or what you can remember.
These are the sort of things where other guys are like listening. They're like, "You drank shit or something." Do you know what I mean? But I feel like I'm a pretty decent boozer. Like I can neck pints. I reckon I can.
I've seen you necking pints.
I reckon I can have 15 pints and be fine. Yeah,
they'd be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking hell, that's insane.
I think because I eat as well. If I'm like out. I'll enjoy smoking and drinking, and like when I've got
Do you smoke and drink as well?
Yeah, almost every time. Like edibles, and I'll take like little edibles out of me, or maybe a couple of joints.
Nice.
But I won't just like have like a full.
Because for a lot of people, that's typical.
I'll have like a few tokes every 20 minutes or something, and then I can eat a lot when I'm in that mode, and then when I've got the food in me, I can drink a lot as well. So I feel like when I'm on that,
you are a machine, mate.
I feel like when I'm on that vibe of like going out to have fun and stuff, like I'm just eating, drinking, smoking, and just
oh, else
whatever's happening's happening.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Do you still smoke? Do you smoke all the time?
I go through phases where I can completely cut it out, and then I go through phases where I'm having it when I wake up and shit like that. I go through phases of
trying to add
consistency, trying to cut it out, and then I might have it and be like, oh, I love this, and then I get right back into it, and then
what makes you cut it out?
I end up smoking too much, and I'll end up losing plot a little bit.
Right,
and then at times I've had like a full year of sobriety where I've not touched it.
Have you?
And then I've had a lot of phases where I've like from the moment I've woken up, I've got stoned until the moment I've gone to sleep, and it doesn't affect my fitness, my productivity, or anything. No. It just ends up fucking with my head sooner or later. Start getting paranoid about stuff that I shouldn't. Yeah. So
I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's one of them drugs that's definitely it's a touchy subject in it, because I feel like it depends on the sort of person you are. I know a lot of lads who started smoking weed when they were 15, 16, and now they're just absolute dossers, and they still smoke weed.
Yeah.
But then I know other lads. I mean, there's couple lads who come on videos and that, and they smoke all the time, and Maybe
they're always destined to end up like that. Though.
Yeah. You never know.
Maybe.
It wasn't the weed that made them lazy.
It's definitely
But I think it can for sure make you lazy.
I think it can help in the gym at all.
Maybe not in the gym.
No.
I know people who like to smoke before a gym session. I'll do it a little bit, but I can't smoke much for a gym session. But during lockdown, I was smoking a lot. During lockdown, I got really into running, and I was doing my runs stoned.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't affecting my runs. Like, that was my only phase in my life that I've got into running. I feel like I was getting good times in that.
Like, not affecting it either way. Like, not making it better, not making it worse.
Yeah. Neither, yeah. But it's not like I'd have it and then go, like, I'd have to have, like, an hour between, like, when I was smoking and then actually setting off my run. But I was doing, like, all right times where, it definitely wasn't, like, counterproductive having it and whatever.
No. Fair enough, man.
I enjoy my editing and that when I'm stoned.
Do you, yeah?
Yeah, very much so. So
you just get in the zone and...
Yeah. It depends on what I'm editing.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's funny I should say that. It really depends on what I'm editing, because it's like, if it's something that I don't want to do, then I'm not doing it. Yeah, I'm not
That's
doing
mad,
it.
isn't it? Yeah.
It wouldn't ever be worse in terms of, like, the actual what I'm putting into it and, like, what the final outcome is going to be. It would just be in terms of me, what's the word when you're doing everything but...
Yeah.
Procrastinating.
Procrastinating, yeah.
But if it's like a YouTube vlog or something, I
Yeah,
can get
yeah.
really into it. Do you know what I mean?
'Cause that-
10 hours might go by where I've
Yeah.
just drilled it for 10 hours.
That's fucking mad, that.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't think about worse now. I'd just...
What part? The editing?
Just weed. Just,
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I had a couple edibles, I was so fucking paranoid, mate.
That's like,
I felt like having a panic
people
attack.
underestimate an edible and then
Yeah, they do,
have
to
it
be
and
fair.
it knocks the head off.
Yeah.
Can do.
It's mad, innit? Because you have one and then sometimes it'll take like an hour to actually kick in. And obviously, if it's still digesting or whatever, and you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll just have another.
Yeah,
and then when it does
people
kick in,
fuck
you're
up,
like,
innit?
oh my God, what the fuck have I done? Focus on not dying.
Yeah. I was wondering if we were going to talk about this stuff today, because on that Full of Game podcast, I was going on like this, and then on lighting, I look like a bit of a crackhead. I watched it back, and honestly, it was like almost like an hour of chatting about drugs. And I came out of there thinking, that was all right, that. And then I saw it back, and I looked proper baggy under my eyes.
We'll just
fully
make you look
stung.
good,
I'm
mate.
like, shit, I look like a crackhead.
What do you think to psilocybin?
To what, sorry?
Psilocybin, mushrooms.
Magic mushrooms.
I've had them a little bit. I had them this weekend, just gone fully enough.
Oh, did you, yeah?
And fully enough, I vlogged it. I genuinely don't know or think this was out to do with the mushrooms. I had my first panic attack in about 6 years this weekend.
Really?
I went out boozing in Sheffield on Saturday night, and I'd had shrooms for the first time since I went to Amsterdam like 4 months ago or something for Dambo's stag do. And then I had them again on Saturday night, and I swear to God, I feel like it was nothing to do with it. I feel like it was maybe my blood sugar. But I was in a bar where we're all stood like shoulder to shoulder, and I went from having an absolute laugh. I was like literally like almost like in stitches with my mates, having that much of a good time. And then like I went from 0 to 100 of basically someone had like said, "Oh, we off out to smoking area," and it was almost like something had been planted in my head, and we weren't moving fast enough to like do what we'd said we were going to do because it was so busy in there. It was like my head was like, you need to get outside, and then it was like, you need to get outside right now. Do you know what I mean? And then before I knew it, my vision was impaired, my ears were ringing. My mate like carried me out, pretty much not carried me out, but he had to leave me out. I was like zombified. It was awful. Swear
That's
to
mad,
God.
that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not really a lot of people do mushrooms like at festivals and stuff. But
Yeah.
It's not really the place for
I
it,
think
is
you
it?
just want to be with a few of your mates chilling, but
Maybe in nature.
I don't know if it was. I mean, it's obviously very coincidental that that's happened to me on the same time that I've used mushrooms.
Or drinking as well.
Or boozing, smoking. Or kind of all.
Yeah,
that.
it's probably a combination.
Maybe. Running as well.
I reckon it is a combination of them all.
It'll be
To be
the
fair.
bag of crisps you had between pints 7 and 8. It'll be that'll be what's done it.
Well, no, it was funny because I went outside and I sat down and I was still like not in a good way. And my mate gave me some Aperol spritz because they were like, "Oh, maybe it is your blood sugars. Maybe you need a bit of this."
Yeah.
And it was like Popeye when he was spinach or something. Like literally, I drunk this Aperol spritz and you could feel yourself getting back in the game. You know what I mean? So I don't know whether it were that or I don't know. I don't know where it was. It was mad. I came back round and I was like, told my mates, so like, I don't know what that was, but I'm sure that wasn't the mushrooms. I was like, I feel good. I'm having a good time. Do you know what I mean? I didn't suddenly panic because I was like, oh my God, I'm tripping and something like that. It wasn't that.
It wasn't. No, you didn't get.
Mate. Honestly, it was mad.
How weird.
Have you ever microdosed or not?
No, like through like a long phase of doing it and stuff, you mean?
Yeah, just I suppose small amounts when you're doing video editing and stuff like that.
No.
So
it's like a daily thing. If you start microdosing it, you want to be sticking it to it daily.
yeah, yeah.
Lecture rooms, maybe like 5 different occasions, including like a couple abroad and stuff, and it's just been like you and your mates are out and you're looking to get off your nut. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So I've done microdosing.
Yeah.
And I feel like it does help with certain aspects of work, and then it hinders other aspects like creativity stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But there's certain stuff like your accounts and shit like that. There's nothing worse than the idea of doing them. Is just horrendous.
Yeah, sure.
And I can imagine it's probably similar when you're smoking as well.
Sure.
What other types of training have you done then over years?
I do kickboxing twice a week with James Power. We've got a little powerhouse hat on there.
Oh, nice. Repping
You meant to have him last week, weren't you? And it not happened for now, is that right?
Yeah, I was feeling like absolute shit.
Is it next week?
I've asked him to rebook, but he's got a little one now, hasn't he? So hopefully he can.
He's quite tight for time, but I'm sure he'll get it in.
Well, they were going to bring his missus and his kid, and then obviously you were going to be here, Charlie were going to be here, and I didn't want to be sat here like coughing and fucking
Yeah. Of course.
just like, spreading it to them. So yeah. How long you done kickboxing for?
Since he opened, it's about maybe just short of 4 years, I reckon.
Right.
Yeah, so quite a while. I've done quite consistently 2 sessions a week for nearly 4 years. So
it's like the classes or like a PT.
I started with the classes, and then it got that busy that I feel like the floor space they just wasn't enough. I felt like
can't throw a kick without knocking a kid out.
Yeah, I feel like I just kept looking around for like people around me and stuff, and then so I just do 1-to-1s with James, and I love it. He's unbelievably good teacher. Like he's so engaging when he talks to me and stuff. I feel like everyone who's come and worked with him has said that same thing. He's had people drive from miles, like people have literally driven hundreds of miles to get taught by him, and then they've all said like the same thing. How good he is at like just engaging with people. He's brilliant.
That's probably what's kept you going back. And
I
back,
think so. Yeah, but he's been one of my best mates for like longer than anyone else in my life. Me and him went to high school together, we're in the same tutor and that. So
has he always done?
Nice.
No, so he started that when he went to university in Sheffield, like 19, 20 years old. Until then, he were just a fat kid.
Really?
I mean, mate, yeah, but yeah, he was in no sort of shape for high school and stuff. He was out of shape.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
now
crazy. And even his first few fights and that, like I've been to nearly every one of his fights because I've always been cameraman.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, when he was training in Sheffield, I used to do the videos for the fight club where he trained at there.
Right, yeah.
I used to go film all their nights. We used to sell them on DVD, all the fights. So I used to burn them onto DVD, like because it was before like all social media.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Crazy.
What, and sell them at the venue or like just?
I'd have to like take down everyone's address and then post them all the DVDs out.
Really?
Yeah.
All the fighters.
Yeah, all the fighters. Yeah. It was a right blag. It was such a.
It's a good little side hustle.
This 12 DVD burner. And I'd have to edit everyone's fight, burn them onto these DVDs, and go post office, send them off on that. I were getting like no more than like a tenner a DVD. It was such a lot of work for what the return was, but it was.
Were you literally in the venue then? Were you seated like above, or were you just at the side?
I was just ringside. Ringside with camera on that. So I've been to most of his fights, and then over the years, he's been doing it a long time now, and he's getting somewhere really, really good at it. So yeah, he's killing it. Yeah,
what type of work do you prefer? That type of work, or?
I haven't done that sort of work in a long time.
Right.
I'm happy to go film James, for him, like anytime, like But in terms of like that being a paid job where I'm working for a gym or a fight club and filming all their fights, that's not something that I'm so bothered about. I only really do weddings nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Pays a lot. I've done it weddings.
It pays nicely, and I just love the environment. I love how I get treated by like the couple who pay me and stuff like that. Like over the years, when I've worked with so many different people who like might duck paying you for whatever reason. But like with weddings, there's just so much respect. I think more than anything, I think people like they've got like a checklist of stuff that they need to pay off, and they just want to get it off the chest more than anything. Do you know what I mean? And so they're like, "Oh, I'll take this money." Do you know what I mean? So it's hard for me. If anything.
So you get the money before you actually do the work.
Sometimes, yeah, that's not usually the plan. So it's quite hard for me to like even like manage my money because people like are always like, "Take all this money," and I'm like, "Oh shit."
By
the time it comes around, I'm like, "Oh, I've spent all that money now."
I can't afford to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Yeah, just doing that, and then hopefully one day maybe YouTube will turn into something. I don't know, but
because your channel's grown pretty
a little bit.
It's got. How long have you been doing it? Because I feel like you've fucking well surpassed us.
Do you think?
Yeah. How long have we been doing it? A year and a half.
I think
we're on like
is it like 2 years maybe? The first Welcome
it's
to
not
All
quite
Supps.
2 year, I don't think, but
It's probably pushing that, isn't it? I think.
probably a few months.
It's hard to get off the ground, isn't it? Like super hard.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I went to a wedding recently where I was filming, but I didn't vlog it. It was down south, and there was a couple of girls there who were vlogging as well, and so I got chatting to them and whatever, and they followed me, and they were like, "Oh my god, you've got massive following." I was thinking, I've got like 1.3 thousand. Like, it's
is this recent? Like,
yeah, really recently.
Yeah.
I was thinking, no way have I got a big following. And then they'd been doing it like for 2 or 3 years. They were on like 200 subs.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
there is, I guess, like them on them occasions. I'm like, it is going quite well.
How long you been doing it?
I did like it's been a year. 2 weeks from now. But like,
so you're not even a year.
Months, no,
Yeah.
I'm not a year in. But
Sick.
for the last 5 months, I haven't posted.
So you've done what, 6 months?
Yeah,
7 months.
I did like a good 7 month, I'd say, where I was like really sticking to it.
Yeah, which is mad. You've 1.3k.
Do you think?
I think it's.
I'm never sure, mate.
I
I appreciate that very much, but I'm never sure.
If they're like
the
engaging and
stats
active and stuff, I think
Yeah.
I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you imagine those people in a room,
Yeah, sure.
it's
Did
a
you
lot.
have a following before that?
One YouTube, no. I've not-
Just in like, I suppose on Instagram, stuff like that you pushed it to.
I've Instagram. I've got like 6,000, but even still, which isn't a big following. But I was quite surprised at how little crossover you get from that. And
Right.
I don't know if you know Calix is by any chance. He does quite a lot with like Sidemen and stuff. And before I'd started YouTube, and I'd seen a video where he'd spoken about how like you shouldn't expect the people you know, like from Facebook and Instagram, to be your YouTube audience. It was like they don't owe you anything in terms of like this loyalty of watching his stuff. But it was also like you'll find that most people on YouTube might be strangers from the other side of the world who just like enjoy your content.
Right.
It was like, don't expect if you've got 6,000 followers let's say to someone be getting 6,000 views. It was like, don't work like that.
Yeah, well,
But for me, it were a bit of a. I were a bit gutted at times. I've been gutted at times. I've posted some vlogs, but I've taken me hours, and then they've absolutely flopped. And then I've gone to bed like, I'm never doing this again.
It's
and
rough,
then I've woken
innit?
up and I've been like, fuck it, we'll go again. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's what you got to do, though, isn't it? You just
Yeah,
got to keep
definitely,
hammering at it
yeah.
until it'll get there.
There's
anyway,
that many
isn't it?
people doing it now. It's tough, innit? Like,
Right.
if you'd have done it 10 years ago, I always think, fuck me, if I'd have started a YouTube channel when I was 14, 15, I'd be flying now. But
Yeah,
it's tough. It is tough, mate. But I think you've done well. I mean, we've got
thank you.
a few clients who come in here and use the podcast stuff, and they've got big followings elsewhere. And like you said, the YouTube's taken ages to even reach 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
So fair play to you, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like it's it's picking a bit more traction now, innit? I feel like the difference between because we're at 700 now.
Yeah.
I feel like the time between like 500 and 600 were a lot less than
Yeah,
like
well,
1 and 200 and whatever.
We're on we're gaining like 80 a month now, 80, 90 subs a month, whereas before it were like 30, 40.
a year.
It's still slow as fuck though.
Yeah, it's hard, mate. It is hard. But the thing is, like, it's like you've got to do like really like YouTube friendly stuff in terms of like challenges and stuff, and that's what gets people in.
Because
I guess when you're doing mostly pods, it's not necessarily got that element to it.
Are you monetized on YouTube?
Only recently I became a YouTube partner, during my time that I've had off. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Right.
What were you lacking on subs or watch time?
The watch time.
You see, yeah, because your videos are quite like
short.
and
Yeah.
I wouldn't say clickbaity, but like you say, you're doing stuff that people are going to be searching for.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas if you're doing longer podcasts and stuff like that, you're probably going to hit
Your
the watch time.
can tick over quite easily, but not necessarily.
Yeah, and then the subs are lagging behind.
Yeah,
I think we're in that position now.
Yeah.
Which is
It was funny, like it happened like in the time that I've not been posting. Let's say 7 months ago when I was like proper on the YouTube grind, getting them out every week and stuff, I was like, that was really a goal of mine. I was like, I need to become a YouTube partner sort of thing. And then I didn't post. Within that 5 months, I kind of just let it do its thing and it just ticked over. Funnily enough, I went on my, have you got a YouTube Studio? Like the app on your phone where you can see all your analytics. And I went on it and I was 1 hour off. And I've not looked at it in ages. I screenshotted it. I sent it to Danny and Smith. So I was like, no way.
Watch the fucking video.
I just looked at it. I'm going to probably wake up tomorrow and be a YouTube
Yeah.
Do you not stick it on yourself for an hour? You thought, oh, fuck it, I'll just get out.
I don't think that works, is
Is
it?
not?
Although I do watch all my own videos, obviously at least once on your own account and whatever. But it's just, Yeah, it was mad. That was only like 2 months ago. At
Right.
most. Yeah, so
What's the earnings like? Obviously,
I don't look
Is
at
it
it.
pretty
I
much fuck
genuinely
all?
don't look at my analytics and stuff too
Right.
much, because I'm always like, I've got a good idea of what I need to do, and I do my best.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what more can I do?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
suppose for people who are watching, because everyone wants to do YouTube now, like,
Yeah.
people watching are probably going to be sat thinking, fucking hell, like, if you got 1.3k subs and you're getting all these views on your videos,
Yeah.
you must be earning good money, but it's
I'm not getting many views.
No.
way. My most viewed video's got like 10,000. That's a 10,000
Decent.
calorie challenge video.
Because you've had a hair transplant as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I thought that were going to pop off, and it didn't.
Bro, I watched that video and I was like, this. If I were getting a hair transplant, this is the video I'd want to see.
Thank you, mate. I was well happy with it. I don't suppose you've seen it.
No, no.
I've literally got a hair transplant, and I held my camera like at arm's length while getting it, and I was thinking, although I haven't really
That's-
watched many
that's well
other
interesting.
many vlogs, I was like, I'm sure other people won't
Yeah,
have gone to this like extent with it, and
Yeah.
I was really happy with that video. That's on like 3,000. I was like, I was gutted with that. I was like, I'm sure that's going to pop off.
Because,
But it just doesn't.
people have done hair transplant videos, but it's usually someone just sat talking about the
Yeah,
process
yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
because you've done like the progress of it as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So I'm going to be
interesting.
posting my 1 year video. So it has been a year next week, next
Yeah.
Friday. It was the day after my birthday.
Yeah.
But I uploaded my first video to do with it on like the 15th of December, I think it was.
Right,
so
yeah.
I might do like my 12-month one then. So it says 12
Definitely.
months on the thing, otherwise people will be just a bit odd and be like, oh, it's not even been
No.
a year. But
Were it
Yeah.
worth it?
yeah, it looks brilliant, mate. I'm
Yeah,
buzzing with it.
good one.
So today, funnily enough, so I've uploaded this vlog today, which is 5 months ago
Right.
when it happened. And even on that, like, that was before it was like really kicking in my hair.
Yeah.
It got to like after the 6 month point, it was just getting better and better.
Yeah.
And so like even posting that vlog, I was like, I wish I had my hair now on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
patchy, a little bit patchy in that, and I'm buzzing with it now in real life. I really wanted a trim for today. I couldn't get booked in.
Oh, did you?
No idea. I like my barber's is Minutiae, down at Endett Road.
Down here?
Yeah, it's like it's in
Charlie
Oxford,
might know
yeah.
him.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jazz is my barber, and proper wanted to get booked in. I was like, I'm off on a podcast.
You should have
He
just bobbed
couldn't get
over,
me in.
shouldn't you, and jump, come back
He
over.
could get me in, but is what it is. So that camera straight down there. Don't
I'll-
size.
If it's not too personal question, how much was it?
So I got a deal with doing the vlogs. So I got everything all in, including hotel and that, for 1,400.
Fucking hell, man.
I know, which seems like nothing, does it? Like
Yeah,
1,400 quid.
And is that? Did you tell them that you're going to do like promo work for them and stuff?
Yeah,
or did you-
yeah. But they
Yeah.
didn't even they didn't chase me once. I basically like pitched the idea to them. I want to do a vlog. You can have whatever footage you want and stuff.
Yeah.
And they never once messaged me, even like, because it was probably a couple of months before, like from when I had it done to when I posted.
Yeah.
I think it was 6 weeks. They didn't once message me saying any sign of any footage or stuff. They
Right.
just never messaged me at any point, in fact. Apart from say like, is your hair going well and stuff. So yeah,
That's
they've been
pretty good.
brilliant.
You do that often with stuff or not?
Some stuff. I've done NC 500 recently now in Scotland.
Oh yeah.
Like the full North Coast 500
That's-
miles.
that is
And I
mad.
did it in
Yeah.
an RV, and basically, Ellis Lacey, who's the Fully Send host, the guy who's tattooed up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd seen him. He'd posted that he'd had this RV, and then he tagged them on his story. So I messaged them when I'd seen it, saying, "Oh, if you give me an RV, I'll get you some content." And I ended up getting it for free for a week, and that's
Did
why I
you?
went to NC
Nice.
500 recently. Yeah,
The thing is,
So-
you're very good at what you do as well, like the videography stuff. So it's not like it's not like I'm going and with my little Canon and saying, "Oh,
yeah.
I'll do some photos for you." You've got the videos there of
Thank
stuff
you
that
very
you've
much.
done. So
Yeah, so I don't know. I think if you've got that skill that you can trade, you can kind of get in anywhere. It's like as a cameraman, it's like it could take you anywhere. Like it can, like, and it's not just me. It's like so many other cameramen have like lived this interesting life where it's almost like you live like vicariously through other people's lives. Like you find yourself in the craziest positions. I've been on a couple of like private jets and stuff. I haven't been on private
Nice.
jets through like my own doing. Do you know what I mean? I've not paid for them. I've not like earned the right to be there, but I've just been with people who needed videos. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So you just
Nice.
find yourself in these places where everyone needs videos nowadays, and if you're decent at doing it, before you know it, you end up places.
I'm gonna say, 'cause I know a couple of videographers who are really talented, but they just can't seem to find the feet, or they don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I always say to them, I'm like, there's so much opportunity there. How many businesses need a videographer?
Yeah, of
Every
course.
business needs
Of
one.
course.
So if they're good at it, why not just go into a business and be like, I'll do you some promo for free.
Yeah.
Even companies as big as like Represent and stuff. Like I see the stuff that you do, and I watch some of the Represent videos that they post.
The clothing brand.
Yeah, obviously they're a massive brand now, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And I think to myself, like you could do a better job. I know I've got certain mates I think could do a better job. Mm-hmm. I don't know, just walking into them and just being like, I'll make you a free video.
You never know though, like that brand, their videographer, they might have been using them for years. They might be like a good friend of theirs, and
that's true.
They might be like, pardon me, they might know that the videos aren't necessarily like as good as other people, but you might just be like an integral part of the team, and they're like, we're sticking with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're kind of the guy coming in, like the kid coming in.
You never know. Maybe it's not like that, but sometimes it could.
Yeah. Going back to the challenge that we were at a challenge at top of Scotland. Would you say it's a challenge, or is it more just
no?
Holiday?
It was just like a bit of a bucket list thing, and asked this guy for the RV. He said and then I just thought, what should we go do? And that seemed like the obvious one to do. So.
Do you do any like walking challenges or like that?
We didn't even barely walk on that trip.
Did you not know?
No. It was like I don't know if you know, but in Scotland, it's got like the right to roam. You can park anywhere without being disturbed by police.
Yeah, it's not like here, is it?
So you can like literally park up as close as you want to the beach. So we just did like a week of every night we slept more or less on the beach in the RV, and then every morning we were just straight away on the beach, like having a swim and that. And
class.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, mate. Honestly, unbelievable. Some of the best beaches I've ever seen in my life. So I'm gonna do a vlog at some point.
You can't just camp anywhere here, can you?
No. Or you can't just. Well, no, even with camping you can't. But
you can't just pitch a tent, can you?
You can pitch tent wherever you want, and that I think in Scotland. I think so anyway.
I had a question. It's just it kind of came to me. It's sort of jumping back a little bit with because obviously you've done a few recreational drugs and stuff like that. And what's the kind of, why was the line drawn for like steroids and stuff versus the recreational ones? Like in terms of what was the reason that some are okay,
I reckon
some
it's
are not?
probably more of a long-term. Probably more long-term damage, I would imagine, if you're going on like on a course. Surely, no. Like the idea of like even having the effects of like having PEDs or whatever, and like seeing yourself, like I hate the idea of like when you come off and then like you lose like the progress you've made. I feel like that has messed with your head a lot. Surely,
I think it could do, but I think also it depends on what you took before and where you were at in terms of your genetic limit and stuff. I think if you like, I guess there's two parts to that really. If you're at your genetic limit and then you take gear and then come off, you're always gonna. I think even then maybe it can improve your genetic limit slightly. Yeah. There's some stuff that maybe suggests that, but I think also if you're going like you then blasting like Test and Tren and Decker and you got this stupidly big stack and then come off. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to be. You just can't do that. But I think if you went on something that kind of pushed you past, and then you were able to PCT and get your own levels back working, and you run the HCG while you're on it, and you did everything perfectly. I reckon you keep, in terms of what you gain from a muscle point of view, I reckon you keep a lot of it.
Yeah. Sure.
Depends how much it depends how much you value being bigger and being
also it comes down to how much you're asked about it as well. Like you don't have to do much planning to go and have a bit of mushrooms in a bar. You just take them with you and go, hey.
And it's one of them, like you have a good time socially, and I don't know. I think gear use is normalised a little bit too much nowadays.
I would agree. I think so, and I think it's more. I suppose you've got to be a lot more careful, like with that in it, because I think people rush in and don't plan properly and then fuck themselves up and take too much, and that's why it gets the bad rep for all those things. I do think there is a safe way to do it, and it starts with going and getting checked. Like you get your bloods done and get your heart scanned and whatever, and if anything flags up on that,
even still, you're pretty much you're gonna get some negative side effects, aren't you? Like even like hair loss and shit like that. That's a big one for me.
Exactly,
like.
Acne, hair loss, stuff like that. I won't even want to.
It depends on obviously what you take.
I just don't have interest in it.
Because once your hair's gone, like unless you're going to Turkey,
Istanbul,
I'll be watching your video.
So were you sort of predisposed to having the hair loss? Is that why?
My hair wasn't too bad. This is kind of where it's at the moment, but it's pretty full. Like, I mean, I've got hat hair right now, but I'm pretty sure there should be no gaps on that little bit for each end. But it wasn't so bad. It was more like prevention is better than cure sort of situation where it was going a little bit. It might not like me mentioning him, but my brother's hair is not great. And I was like, maybe I'm only going to go in the same direction as my brother. And so I just thought, like, if I do this now, it's probably going to be thick for the next 10 years. And then I'll most likely do it again. Like,
is that what
while you've got your back and your sides? Yeah, I think. I mean, there's no necessarily like a certain time frame where they're like, oh, this is going to last 10 years. But I mean, I'm nearly 33, so let's say 43. If I feel like it's going again, which is quite late into my life, 43, I probably will get one again, because basically they take it from your front and your back, from your sides and your back, like your donor area. So while you've still got your donor area, it kind of makes sense to use it, because once that goes, you can't do it no more.
You've raised hair transplant a couple of times.
Me?
Just in casual. I'm sure you've mentioned it like a couple of times. And it's,
for who? For yourself, or are you suggesting it to him?
I guess it's just
suggesting to him.
It's just raised holistically.
It's getting old, is Matt.
I mean, well, the thing is, because looking at,
you've got a solid hairline, mate.
Well, but all my family do. Like my great granddad were like 98, and his hair he had a thick head of hair, and it only just went slightly grey. At that age, like, do you know what I mean? It was ridiculous. It was just like look faded, to be honest. It wasn't so there's good hair genetics.
Yeah,
in my family, so I'm not that worried. But I know you're worried about yours blowing away one day, aren't you? In like a breeze.
No, I mean, someone put it in my head once, and they were only taking piss, and then I was like, "Fucking hell, is my hairline going?" And then, funnily enough, there's a business attached to the shop that do all kinds of treatments. They do aesthetics, but one of the ladies in there, she started doing something called PRP.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
I know what that is.
Yeah. And she was basically like, "Oh, I can do your hair for free just because."
Plasma replacement, is that what it is? Plasma.
Plasma palette, something like that.
You're asking
I've got an idea though what it is.
Plasma.
To do with your blood and then like injecting it back into
your
your
head. So they take your blood, put it in a centrifuge, spin it round, and then they inject the plasma back into your head. And she needed people to kind of test it out on and just practice, basically.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the prices of them. You can pay like 200 quid a session in London, and she like, you need 6 sessions. So like, fuck it, may as well do it. I've had 4 anyway.
What, you have?
Have you had it?
I've had 4, yeah.
What, is this news to you as well?
I didn't bloody know. Yeah.
It's just one of the things I go in. I get my blood.
Refund policy.
I don't know. I'd feel like it's done something. I know a few people who have had it as well, and they've had some really good results. Like the barbers have actually said to them, "Fucking hell."
Yeah.
And I know some people's barbers are on about going and getting it done. So
I guess that's good. If the people cutting the hair are like the bit always worries. It's what worries me about laser eye surgery when the person doing the surgery is wearing glasses. You think, hang on, this isn't a really good advert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny you should say that. When I first started talking to the place that I went in Turkey, because they chat to you on WhatsApp, the guy on his WhatsApp photo, he had a bad head of hair, mate, and there was going to be 3 of us that were going to do it. But my 2 mates, they basically dropped out like last second. I went by myself. But all 3 of us were like, "Who's this guy?" Like,
did it worry you a little bit?
I don't know. It was more just a laugh between us.
Just
we were
thinking,
like, "Who's this guy to be doing this?" But
I'd have been worried.
Yeah,
going for that.
Yeah, but it didn't turn out that he was the guy. He was like just the representative who like was messaging here.
So, you'd think he'd get a free transplant.
Even on a picture, just airbrush.
Yeah, definitely.
Full head of hair.
Yeah.
What's some of like the major side effects from that then? Because obviously it's quite a lengthy procedure in it, and it's
as far as I'm aware, nothing
long term.
I don't think so.
No.
But people have like medicine and stuff, or get on like tablets and that after they've had it. I've had nothing at all. Finasteride is like the main drug that people have after they have a transplant, or even before it, just to help with growth. But
is that similar to minoxidil? Is it minoxidil?
I think so. I hear them get mentioned alongside each other.
Yeah, finasteride is the one that gets used a lot if you're on like sort of some gear that is prone to like Masteron or something.
Is it bad for your heart, that stuff?
I don't know, to be honest.
One of them causes your heart to like beat
like irregularly or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never looked. I just know of it. I've never looked too much into it, to be honest. But,
I don't know anything about them, but my thinking was, because I do know people who have had hair surgery and then had these things. My surgery didn't at any point mention like take this, do that, or whatever. And all I was thinking, well, they don't care about your health. Like, all they want is a good before and after photo for their business.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, if it's so important for me to have these meds and whatever, they definitely would have pushed it on me. So I just thought, if they're not telling me to have anything, I'm not going to have anything.
What do they say? Just what's like the main protocols when you've had it done?
For like 2 months, they give you some shampoo and conditioner rather than using like Head and Shoulders or Dove and whatever. And they're just like
some natural shit.
Yeah, God knows what they give you. But I used that until my hair was like long enough that I was like, this is barely touching my scalp. And then I moved on to Head and Shoulders, and then that's been it.
Right.
So there's been like, I've had no meds or anything. And like other people who I meet who have had their hair transplant, it's kind of like the number one question is, oh, what have you taken? Have you taken finasteride or whatever?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just said,
you'd expect it just to work, wouldn't you? Like without, but because that shit can work.
I mean, it does work. Yeah, it's worked.
Yeah.
So I think people need to just.
Have you seen people who's had it done that it hasn't worked? Because I've seen a couple.
I haven't looked too much into them, but I feel like most people I've seen who've had it done, it's worked. I feel like it almost.
I've had a couple people in shop who've had it done, and their hair's still fucked. Yeah,
but maybe they were bowling at a rate where like
it was just
they were fighting a losing battle. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, we've got the smelling salts, man. Fucking hell.
Oh yeah, I told you to bring some, didn't I? Oh my lord,
never done it before. I watched short strongmen and stuff on them before.
Yeah. Have you seen that recent video where that woman like nearly breaks her back having them?
No.
Yeah, let me quickly show you this. It's absolutely belter.
Crack them off.
Do you want me to read? So we've got a warning on here. Very toxic. By using this product, you accept all responsibility and liability to any injury and or death that may occur to yourself and any third parties.
So that was my deaths on you then?
No.
Do you sell these in shop or something?
Yeah, I do sell these in shop.
Charlie, come and sniff this, mate.
Charlie, what have you given us here? For legal reasons.
You say you do or don't sell them in the shop?
I do sell them, but...
how often do people buy them?
Quite a lot, mate. But these are the strongest ones I've had.
Because I've been intrigued a couple of times with the beast ones, the supposedly the world's strongest smelling salts.
They're bad.
What, as in Eddie Hall ones?
Yeah.
I had to pretty much resuscitate a mate in shop. I kid you not.
Did he put his face straight in it?
These are from the beast?
From the beast ones. So some guy had gone on sunbed and he'd left his strongest smelling salts on the counter, and my mate walked in. I was serving another customer, and he picks them up. He's a loose cannon, the guy who did it, and he picks them up. He goes, "Oh, these smelling salts." Put them right up to his nose. Took a massive whiff, and he's there like choking.
Serves him right, doesn't it?
Goes blue in face. I had to get behind him, and I'm literally pumping him with air.
Mate, I'm nervous now, thinking that I might.
No, these are no.
But you start away.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I stopped stocking them ones was because of that. Because I was like, "Fuck me, I don't want that on my head." So
yeah.
Oh, it were rough.
Quickly get this video up. It shouldn't take me long to find.
Oh, mate, I'm struggling to. Oh shit, there we go.
Maybe you need some smelling salts to open the smelling salts.
I don't know how bad these are. They say strong as fuck on them, but
yeah, it's not a good. We'll start because you're supposed to start away, aren't you, and slowly move. Don't stick you.
It's ammonia, so like powerlifters take it and then they take a big whiff of it. But yeah, I still get messages from my mate now saying, "Oh, Wolfie,
have you got any in?"
No, saying, "Oh, you saved my life that day," and all this shit. I swear down. Mad. Yeah, don't do it too daft. It's not nice, is that? Who the fuck does that?
I don't know. Oh man.
What would you?
It's not that bad, to be fair. Actually, sniff it though, Matt.
Fucking, that clears your sinuses, that doesn't it?
It's not that bad.
Was it like a big hit of Vic or something?
It's like
it's awful. It's awful.
Doesn't smell nice, that does it?
Well, like
I don't know.
Dog turd.
It's not actually that bad.
Vic or...
Concentrated piss or something.
They're not that strong, I don't think, them ones, but
no.
We'll see what Ben reckons. Don't kill yourself, lad.
What? That was like, I feel like it was like a bit chlorine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so strong in it. It's crazy.
Yeah, you see guys taking massive whiffs of that, don't you?
What's like too much? Like if you just absolutely keep.
I don't know.
one nostril and then.
To be fair, when it gives you death warnings on the label,
I think they do that for clout though, don't they?
Nah, they do it for fucking liability.
Maybe
mate.
both.
That's what it is.
Do you want a whiff of that?
It's not that bad, is it?
It could be though.
If you got it right up there.
I don't see how that would help you with lifting though. Man, that innit?
So the thing is, right?
Radiator? Where's radiator? Oh, there, yeah.
I felt the heat from that coming up with the smell.
So you can imagine these, right? obviously my mate in the shop had the world's strongest ones. Them ones were so potent, and he literally grabbed it off the counter. It was brand new. Opened it. It's some blokes on sunbed as well, so he's just opened some other blokes' stuff. And he literally put his nose in it and took the biggest whiff, and he just went blue in face. Fuck me, I was so worried. I was literally shaking. I thought we were gonna die.
I'd like to have a go with that, like before, like just doing something,
just to see what it actually does.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It's awful, isn't it?
Right, I'm not doing it now. No, I'm bashing you.
I've got a couple of questions for you, Ben, but on the phone. But
yeah, sound.
Yeah, I'll probably find.
What that people sent in?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that we're going to get no replies. Not going to lie.
Yeah, I'll ask you these and then.
Mate, I wish I could have got here a little bit earlier. I'm sorry that I didn't.
Oh, don't worry about it, lad.
Nice
it's
to meet
fine.
you, mate. Thank you very much.
See you later, Matt.
Take your send in, lad.
Fairly laid back episode anyway. You're gonna have to like kind of engineer the shit. Do you know what? It's weirdly addictive. That I kind of want to open up a bash.
You know, like them days though, where your story views just don't go like anywhere.
Yeah, you get.
Days.
Yeah,
I feel like it can be like on the days where you need it most. You know
yeah.
what I mean? When I first started YouTubing, I'm pretty certain that every time I put a link
Yeah.
To YouTube on my story, my views would flop. So I always do like a GIF, like I'll do a link in bio GIF.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I
feel
don't
like
know
when
how
you
much.
try promoting stuff, it stops you from doing that on purpose.
Because you've
I bet
done
anything
obviously.
that drives it away from Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe like if you put like a picture on.
Yeah.
Well, if you
like
put
my views always do way better if I put a picture on rather than share a photo or share a link. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain.
Also, if you put a YouTube link on your story, it penalises you basically.
I'm not saying it does, but it certainly felt like it kept happening to me.
Yeah.
Well, they don't actually give anything away, do they? Instagram, like the tricks and stuff.
No, exactly. I was like, it seemed like when I first started on YouTube, every like on Instagram, 6 days of the week I'd be getting like X amount of views, and then on that one day of the week where I'd be like, on a Tuesday I'd be like, right, I've got a new vlog, and then I'd be like,
Fifth.
so much like lesser on my views. I'd be like, either everyone's like, oh, it's a Tuesday, we just won't watch your story because he's going to be going on about YouTube, which is unlikely, but
It's
I'm
very
sure
unlikely.
it would just like YouTube, Instagram, and like.
Yeah, because the
Not
thing is,
sure about
people
it,
just
but-
click through stories mindlessly, don't they? So if you're at the front, they'll watch it anyway. But
Sure.
it's a good point, is that? Because I've always got like some sort of YouTube link on my stories, and some days there'll be random days where I'll look at it and it'll be like, say if I normally get 300 views, some days I'll look at it and be like 650 or 700, and I'll be like, what the fuck's gone on there then?
Yeah. There's no consistency, is there, on Instagram to like what your views are getting? Like stuff can pop without like.
But to be fair, if you
reason.
upload a reel with like a TikTok, what's the thing that bounces around? Do you know what I mean? The logo, a TikTok logo.
Oh, yeah.
That
they-
penalises you, doesn't
They
it?
flop them.
Yeah,
Do they?
that's because they
Yeah.
don't like you using.
Yeah,
They want you to make the reels on Instagram. They don't want you to take it from.
But who's making reels on it? Like Instagram?
Yeah, no,
It's awful, isn't it?
No, yeah. That's why you're probably best making it like, like uploading it to reels before you upload it to TikTok, because then you don't have this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Right, so we've got James Power, MMA. What's the favourite thing he's filmed?
I don't know. I've done some like traveling to like poorer countries. I was shooting like charity footage for a charity.
Yeah.
So probably that sort of stuff.
What charity was that?
They're actually from Wakefield, called Penny Appeal.
Right.
They sent me to Bangladesh, sent me to Beirut.
Sick,
and,
sick.
Yeah, they were mad jobs. Yeah, proper.
Yeah, that's eye-opening, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it was mad.
yeah.
I'm at some point soon, I'm going to do like, back then, because I weren't YouTubing, I wish I'd done, especially the Bangladesh one, it was probably the most interesting trip I've ever done. And I've shot all this footage. I just wish I was like forward thinking enough that I like filmed some myself. Like, I'll have filmed myself a little bit on my Snapchat story and stuff. This is years ago. But if I'd still had all that, I've got all the footage, but if I had all the footage, but I also had like the perspective of me being there, do you know what I mean? Like if I'd have just a few times like filmed myself. That's probably like since I've started YouTubing, the thing that I've been like, I should always do that. If I ever film a job that's interesting enough, just to get a few clips of yourself, to be able to put yourself in that environment, to have like the proof that you were there, do you know what I mean?
Even to make like a little montage.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I'm always like, there's loads of jobs where I'm like, why don't I just film myself a little bit in that place?
It's pretty mad, like some of the places you've been that work have taken you, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the private jet story? Like, how did you end up there?
for many years, been friends with Tom's and Etty.
Yeah.
He's quite partial to a PJ.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
hell,
yeah.
right. To be fair,
Yeah.
Did you work with
I
Tom
thought-
for a decent
Yeah,
years?
a long time, yeah. But
Coming
PJ,
up,
say that again.
like when he were coming up, or
Yeah, he's
after?
from Wakefield, isn't he?
Yeah,
So I was more or less like Tom's first cameraman, and then for like at least 10 years, did like nearly everything of us.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Sick.
good, man. Yeah.
Hopefully one day we'll be able to fly on a private jet. Like.
I'm sure we will. We'll get one in.
Yeah. If you could revisit anywhere you've travelled, where would it be and why?
Oh my god, to revisit somewhere. But something like, although I've been to Thailand a few times. Maybe I'd just go to Thailand again. Just like
Thailand, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
I won't necessarily. I don't think it makes too much sense to go to like the same place over and over and whatever. But so in terms of like where's somewhere that I'd love to go again, don't know where really pops into my head. But Thailand's been.
Where do you like in Thailand? Do you like up north or like the islands?
I've just done really the islands. I've never been to like Chiang Mai and stuff, if that's what you mean by the north.
Yeah,
I've never really
yeah.
been up there. I've been 5 times Thailand.
Yeah.
It's always been like start in Bangkok and then always go south.
Yeah.
But I just think it's mint. I think the people are mint.
Yeah.
It's like the whole culture and just the landscapes. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. Innit? Have you been there, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did, so we went to Koh Samui, and then the weather were just crap on all the islands. This is December, we were like, fuck it. Like, we were just literally Googling places with sun. We were just going to get a flight anywhere. But up north, like Chiang Mai, were red hot.
Right.
And then we moved up to Pai,
Yeah.
which I feel like you'd like it there.
I'm sure I would, yeah.
There's just cafes everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah, it's changed on it recently. It's like become like legal all over.
Yeah, the only downside to that is there's no beaches. Which
no.
is a bit of a bummer because
I'm not like all about my beaches. I just like something different. Beaches are nice, like, but that wouldn't be like the make or break of like somewhere that like I'd like love about.
Yeah,
a place, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the most recent time I went by myself for a couple of weeks. I was like doing Muay Thai every day and stuff. And
Oh yeah.
I went on beach a little bit, but that wasn't like the absolute buzz of it.
Yeah. How long were you there for?
So last year I went twice. I went with TZ for 2 weeks, and then a little bit later I went by myself for 2 weeks.
Were you doing Muay Thai and stuff? As well?
When I was there with him, yeah.
What's it like training over there compared to here?
Warm.
Warm.
Yeah, very warm.
Is it more difficult?
It's
Like,
different. It's like when you train with someone, like you teach, like everyone teaches in their own ways. People like throw or say different combinations and stuff.
Yeah.
So like James, who I train with, he's got like a number system like 1 to 9.
So yeah, I've seen that.
Whereas this guy, it was like for the first couple of sessions at least with him, I had to like understand what, because there weren't numbers. They were like shouting stuff in
Phrases.
Thai and phrases and whatever, and I had to kind of get used to them. So it was different. It was very sweaty, which like it's like it's kind of fun when it's like really sweaty. You feel like you're getting more out of your workout in terms like you can see your send melting and stuff, and obviously you warmed up. There's like less risk of an injury and stuff, but also you maybe burn out a little bit sooner. Do you know what I mean? You're absolutely knackered before you know.
Yeah,
it,
you're
but-
probably fatiguing quicker, aren't you?
But it's all good fun. Yeah.
Is that enough time to get into the routine of it? Like, if you
2
were,
weeks when I were 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
With a guy that I was like doing it with, like, yeah, it took a couple of like him understanding what sort of level I was at, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
Not like his level, but how he was like teaching, and then once I think we kind of got used to each other, yeah, it was.
What did that do for your physique?
For my physique?
Yeah.
I went already quite trim.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been burning calories, but I guess more than anything, you're just losing all your water weight and that. Aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was there for 2 weeks. It's not like you can make a huge
No.
difference in that time, but
Obviously tan as well with sun.
yeah, well, it
training
wasn't
hard.
in the sun.
No.
It's just like open air. So I don't think these like Muay Thai gyms won't train you in the sun. I think you'd
I
be
just
fucked if you did.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, you mean as well
like,
as-
obviously
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
going in sun, aren't you, all
that.
day?
Yeah, just looking bronzed and sweating and that.
Yeah. Something
it's-
I've like toyed with idea of doing just
Yeah,
to
it's
get
brilliant.
like a little break and just go and train. And
Yeah, it's mint, mate. I'd love to do it again. James always likes the idea of it. He's obviously had a kid recently, but his mate Ross, who works at Powerhouse as well,
oh yeah,
he's just recently gone and do it. and he was PTing out there and stuff.
Yeah.
I think he plans to go back quite soon, but I bet he had a great time.
People stay out there for years, don't they?
Yeah. Seems like a good move. Like I've got a mate who's in Koh Samui and he's doing selling some like stuff to do with weed edibles and stuff, and he wants me to go out there, and like he wants me to be working kind of. Well, I've said to him he needs someone full time. I was like, if I go even for a week or two and shoot you some content, you need ongoing content. It's not like a one project sort of thing. You know what I mean? You need someone who's social media manager more than anything. Yeah. So I was like, I'd love to come do it, and I might do that, but he needs someone long term, really. Yeah. Right.
Does he own a cafe there or something?
I mean, he's from round here, and he was doing really well round here with similar things. And then he's kind of taken the same thing over to.
That'd be class, wouldn't it? I feel like that life would suit you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You could train hard.
Yeah, it'd be class.
Or your Muay Thai.
Living over there, doing all that. Yeah, but I won't end up doing. I might go once, but it won't be a move I'd do.
No, it's probably not somewhere you want to.
I really want to be YouTubing. I feel like if I was to commit to that, I just maybe won't keep up to it. At the moment, I feel like YouTube's like my number one thing that I'd love to get going. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Going back to like the videography stuff, obviously, I feel like we've been going for ages, but do you actively try to get better at it, or have you kind of hit a point? And editing stuff like that, or have you just kind of hit a point where you're like, I'm good enough? And
I think it just happens over time, like without necessarily like meaning to. It's just
you find like other things that
you just like practice anything over time. You just get better and better, don't you? Yeah. I've been doing it for like 18 years, so a good while. Yeah. I mean, I'm about to turn 33. I started when I was 15. Yeah. And so in that time, like, I still to this day I watch like the odd tutorial if there's.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're still watching stuff like that and learning because
funny tutorials. Like, I can like on the odd occasion where I do look for a tutorial, I can learn something where I'm like, oh my god, I just learned something that literally I've just found in 5 minutes on YouTube, and it's going to help me forever now. Like you could spend just time just hammering Adobe Premiere.
Oh dear.
You could just spend time like hammering YouTube, like learning from it, and before you know it, you might be. You might know loads, but obviously you don't think like that when you're editing something. It's kind of like every so often you might be like, oh, well, now I'll do that, and so you might look into it, sort of thing.
Do you do that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What, just Google stuff? Oh, YouTube stuff.
Do you know them captions that are flying on screen that were in that new vlog?
Yeah.
Like a bit of a flashy motion. Yeah. I learned how to do that recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, it was like a plugin, and I didn't. There's like plugins on. I use Final Cut, so like the plugins and stuff are just endless, and like I download them, so we've got like an iMessage text that comes up at the top.
Oh, they're good.
Stuff like that, and I just buy them for like $9.99, and they just like change the video.
Is that how much it costs for that? Just for that pop-up?
But like not for that. They'll have like Android ones and WhatsApp ones, but I just use the iPhone one because most people are on iPhone and it looks like they've got a text, don't it? When they'll
I like them because it's like if someone if Tom's on video, you'll be like Jailings, have you subscribed yet? And it's just cool because I bet people see that and do genuinely think, oh shit, I'll subscribe. You've got to constantly be doing that.
And like the Instagram tags, I have a plugin that has like a pop-up Instagram tag whenever somebody's on screen.
Yeah.
Stuff like I didn't know how to do that or know about plugins.
Sure.
For years. Well, I didn't have a Mac. It was more of a Mac thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I were on iMovie, Sony Vegas for years.
I used to do YouTube. I've got a tattoo on my arm that says Vegas Killer.
Really?
Yeah, I always used to use Sony Vegas. Yeah. And basically, I used to do all the videos for like all the MCs really round in Wakey.
Yeah.
I was almost like the middle ground between them all.
Right.
And there were one of them called Zid, and he used to call me Vegas Killer. That were like
really
a couple of his MCs and that Vegas Killer.
What is the Sony Vegas then? Is that
Sony Vegas like Adobe Premiere, another
just the software
thing? Yeah.
It was like for Windows, but then when I got a Mac, I just changed to Final Cut.
What made you ditch that?
Similar, like I got a Mac and then went to Adobe Premiere. Yeah, I don't think many people really use.
It's Windows Sony Vegas. You can get like there's ways to do it, and get it on Mac. But I think most people make the change. I think a lot of people are on Mac now anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. It is Adobe. Adobe's like the leading.
Yeah.
the leading software for it.
I would love to in time, like, if my YouTube got big enough on like Skillshare, stuff like that, I'd love to like start putting just things on there of like me teaching people like how to edit and stuff. And like, I don't really want to do it on YouTube. I feel like you give secrets away more than anything. Like, unless you've got like
for
a really
free as well.
Yeah, I feel like unless you've got like a really big audience, and so like you've gone clear, let's say, and
you make your money off the
views. Yeah. I think that makes sense. But plenty of times I thought, do I put something on my YouTube with me to do with editing and stuff? But I don't know, man. I don't think a lot of people would actually have the patience to sit down and do it. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
and if they are doing it already, you're probably not giving them that much.
I get you.
Do you know what I mean? But
I know, but on Skillshare, people, let's say if I was on let's say I was on 100,000 subs.
Yeah.
And then you started promoting yourself on Skillshare, saying, oh, you want to learn to edit weddings like me or something like that. And then, like say you got 100 people out of 100,000. If 100 people are paying, I don't know, what, 10 a month or something. Yeah. It's a nice little extra.
True, yeah. What do you think to AI?
A grand, let's say maybe something a little bit more potentially, but that was just like.
What's your thoughts on AI?
I don't love it.
Do you think that could?
I posted something the other day. I don't know if you saw it on the story where someone was talking, and then like it's like a AI program that can it'll translate what you're saying, but your lips will do it perfectly. So for example, it'd change this pod perfectly to Spanish, the whole thing, and our lips would completely look like we're talking Spanish.
Shut up.
But any language.
What?
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's
so you could have crazy. like a Ben Marsh Spanish channel.
Yeah, you could. Like Mr. Beast, he does that, doesn't he? Every channel has got like a different thing.
God, it's scary stuff, isn't it?
But even people like Mr. Beast, like he pays people to dub all of his things for all of his other channels. But with that, he might be able to
do him out of a job.
And he might be able to just
that's just one day. No one's going to have a job, are they? Because people like us that edit, like one day you're just going to have, like it'd be so much easier for you to put one of your videos through an AI maker.
And
it's done. It's like music. I do music, and now there's softwares and things where you can make a song without musically being capable to make a song.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
It's always like there's always got to be like some sort of real like creative direction. Like if you've got an idea, like let's say you've filmed 2 hours worth of footage, and then you've got an idea in your head how like this 10-minute video is going to look. And I don't doubt that the AI maker is going to do a good job of it, but it's not necessarily going to look anything like what you want it to.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll have like keywords, like inputs, and of how you might want it to go, but surely it could never look like what you've got in your mind. I don't know.
Depends if it gets to the point where it can watch all your
like other videos and just get a proper idea of like.
It will get to that.
As you to a T.
It will get to that in years.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like there's already. Like when we don't need staff in the Asda anymore because they've got the self-scanning. So it's just coming for like the creative industry now and everyone else. Like, is everyone just not going to have a job soon?
Maybe the filming part of it will never be replaced. So
I
feel like that surely couldn't.
That is true.
I surely couldn't. Or being the person in front of the camera. If you've got that in you that you can talk to cameras and stuff, so surely that's a part of it as well. That like because
go on, sorry.
No,
I'm going to say photography's like I feel like photography's just being pushed out big time now. You can use
videos
more than videos because you can now use Midjourney, and you could go on there and you could type in like, give me an ultra realistic photo of Ben Nevis on a cold rainy day or whatever, and you've got a sick photo.
It's crazy.
Whereas, like, if I saw a sick photo, I'd now think, is that AI or is it normal?
Is
it someone actually taking it?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Chaz?
I was going to say it's like that Netflix. Have you seen new Black Mirror?
No.
There's a Black Mirror episode, and it's like an AI, and they've made like an AI episode on like their version of Netflix based on this girl's life. Like everything she does in a way, they've got like tracking simulations, and they've made a series out of her, and it's like people that, I feel like you'd have to see it. But there's an episode on there, and it just documents exactly how it's gonna go one day. And it's like, yeah,
they do call it, don't they? On Black Mirror, they're pretty bang on.
Yeah, a lot of, it's Simpsons, it's same, aren't they?
It's trippy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Slightly worrying, but yeah, we've got Autopod now anyway, haven't we?
Yeah.
What's Autopod saying? Do you rate it?
We don't know yet. This is the first test.
Oh, really?
It's a bit of a chaotic podcast to fucking try it on, isn't it?
Well, I'll try it tomorrow.
In and out, and
we'll
just
I'd love to see that, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Whenever you're going to do that, I'd love to see that in motion. I'd love to just fly by and just have a little look.
Yeah.
I won't be over your shoulder saying I'll do this.
No, it's fine. I might have a look at it tomorrow, but like I've been watching videos on it, and it's you just sit there and you watch it cut it up.
Yeah.
But we've had to set this to multi-track now. So it multi-tracks your microphone, his microphone. Before it were all like one wavelength, so we couldn't do it.
Just one audio track.
But now we'll assign a video clip to his mic, my mic, your mic, and then
close.
It'll just cut it whenever we're talking.
Yeah.
So I feel like you'll have to watch it back to like, because it's going to make mistakes. I think when you talk and I talk at the same time, I think it's going to get a bit. But yeah, I think.
But even so, like even if you've
got to sit there for an hour and just make sure it's all right.
It wouldn't even matter if it did that though, would it?
No,
if two people are talking, it don't really matter if
really
it's getting. It's scary shit.
Yeah.
And it can auto clip as well.
What do you mean?
So you can set it just to clip. It can like read certain conversations,
like reels and that. You mean?
And just clip them up within like 2 minutes.
It's cheap as well. It's only like £20 a month. Yeah, it's like a gym subscription.
Have we put that?
Is that how everything around it kind of gets weighed up? Everything's like fitness terms. It's like a gym.
It's like a gym group membership.
It's like a Wolfsup's t-shirt.
Nah, it's fucking more expensive than that, mate. Yeah. So yeah, Ben, I feel like we should round it up a little bit and talk about what's in the pipeline for you. What's your future looking like?
For now, we're going back to more on topic things. I've kind of picked up 2 little injuries recently, so I really wanted to bulk for like the next 4 or 5 months.
What are they? They're to do with kickboxing, or?
Yeah, I went to a parkour gym this weekend, just gone for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And on my warm up, I've hurt my knee, but I haven't even bailed.
Oh, man.
I've not even like done. Basically, I went there and I was like, "Do not, whatever you do today, like fall and hurt yourself." I didn't even fall. I was literally running at a wall, and then like I could have been running the street. My knee just went like under my finger.
Oh, so you just kind of tripped and.
No, I didn't even
tripped,
trip.
But just
I didn't know nothing. Like, if anyone would have been watching me, you wouldn't have even noticed that anything happened.
Oh,
right. It was like the bit under my patella was just suddenly hurting like bad.
Fucking hell.
So I don't know how that's happened, but like I'm really wanting to bulk at the moment. I'm like at a point where I'm like wanting to start putting like more weight on my legs and whatever. I'm like, that is bad timing. But also, again, I don't even know what I've done with this one, but that's hurting as well. I've trained chest today and it's causing me a bit of problems. So I was hoping to like do a decent bulk for next 5 months and then try ripping up for next summer.
Right.
But then I'm like, I love binge eating content. So like I've made a 10,000 calorie video before.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of binge eating content. It's like one of my favourite things to watch. I eat most meals watching people eat.
I do that. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
I love it, mate. And so I'm like, what if through the winter, rather than just pure bulking and maybe making like, because when you're natural anyway, I might bulk for 5 months, then do my best to lose it all, and the difference might be barely noticeable. Like Joe Delaney, I'm a big Joe Delaney fan.
Guy, isn't he?
And a couple of years ago, he documented like his bulk and then cut.
Yeah.
And it was like basically the conclusion was, can you even tell the difference?
Gained like a pound or something.
Yeah, like the most just not worth it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what if I end up doing that? What if I end up bulking 5 months? Hate myself because not hate myself, but
bit fluffy.
When I put weight on my face, like it's like even now, like in this last month or so, like I've been eating whatever and like feeling like even coming on this pod, I was like, I wish I looked a bit more slimmer like I did a month ago. So let's say 5 months from now, if I gain 2 stone or something, or maybe even more, I'm like, is that even worth it for what I'm trying to get out of it? So instead, I'm like, why don't I just keep dieting like I usually do all the way through the winter, but once a week, film some 10,000 calorie.
Oh, so you're gonna purposely diet through the winter and then have a.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure where I'm at.
Right.
I'm not sure whether I'm trying to do this bulk So I think I'll document it if I do.
Yeah.
And so I like that idea of it, but I also like the idea of making a lot of binge eating
Yeah.
content.
Do you ever watch Randy Santel?
I've seen quite a lot of him.
You look like him with cap on.
Yeah. I didn't plan to wear a hat today, but I couldn't get a trim, and I was like,
shit.
okay, I'm gonna have to wear the hat. But
I love Randy Santel. Yeah.
I've seen some of his stuff. Do you know Beard Meets Food?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
Ponty, and he calls out not calls him out, but he'll mention Randy quite a bit. So that's kind of where I've seen him. But like,
I think they did a podcast together actually.
Yeah, I'm sure they will have done. Beard's got a pod. The guy who he does his pod with trains at Powerhouse, funnily enough.
Does it?
I think it's called Josh. I'm quite sure it's called Josh.
Right.
But
I haven't watched any, to be fair, but
I've not really watched the pods, but in terms of his actual videos, I love them. I've seen them all.
yeah, they're sick out.
Yeah, so I just even like a couple of my food videos that I've done, people have said have messaged me like, oh, it's like Beard Meets Food, and I'm like, although I haven't purposely been like, oh, I'm trying to make a Beard Meets Food vlog. Like, I watch
Are you a big
lot.
eater as well then?
I've been wondering, like, only a couple of days ago, I was saying to my mate, I was like, I might vlog a couple of food challenges. But I've never tried one, and I don't know how it.
Do you know what, mate? You should come to the shop and try ours. We've got a food challenge, so you've got to eat 6 pots of gold in half an hour.
Gold?
No one's won it yet.
Is that
pots of gold. It's
like a meal, isn't it? A little meal.
It's basically a frozen meal prep.
Yeah.
But they're actually quite nice. There's about, I think
what they're made of? What are the ingredients?
It depends, mate.
Not like all the ingredients, but...
Well, there's like 13 different flavours.
Yeah, like katsu,
so you can have like
curry, there's like
beef chili, there's pasta ones, yeah.
Has anyone attempted that?
Yeah,
everyone's...
people, they've all failed there.
We've both been there, haven't we?
Yeah.
Watching
Six pots?
Yeah.
One guy did
have to see
6 and then he threw it up, didn't he?
No, he did 5 and then threw
Threw it up.
And he
One
was
guy
flying.
did like 5 3/4, didn't he?
Oh, Rob, yeah.
Just
My mate is a big eater, but he's a slow eater, so time cost him. I mean,
That's what I mean. I've never eaten like with a time
just
limit.
Come down and try it.
Yeah, maybe.
It'd be funny, mate.
Maybe.
You get a t-shirt and you get your meals for free if you win.
Mate, I might well
and we can film it for you and all.
I liked the idea at one point. Like at one point, I was eating loads of protein nuggets from Aldi, and I don't know if you've had them.
Yeah,
quite filling.
They are hard to get down, but
Yeah,
like
they are.
The ones that you like sup like that.
they are the same, but
Right.
I feel like they're a little bit watery. Bit runnier than when you buy them in a normal.
They're quite thick.
They're still like the same flavour and stuff.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I feel like they just come out a little bit easier, in the squeezy packs.
Yeah.
But like, if you ever try to like get one of them down quickly when you're in a rush, like it's hard, mate.
Fixed.
So I like the idea of like seeing who. I don't know exactly what I was thinking I was going to do with it, but. Like maybe
That'd be
making people race or something to eat protein yogurts.
Getting people in and doing it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like setting yourself a challenge.
I'm done with them. I'm not eating them no more. In fact, funnily enough, I thought I would have mentioned this already. So I bought off you only recently the Perform, didn't I?
Oh yeah.
If you can remember. And I've had a little bit of it, and I'm just done with protein powder.
Right.
I'm fully done with protein nuggets, protein powder.
Cool.
Fully cut them out, mate. I don't know if I've got any intolerances. I don't think I do. In terms of like normal food, there's nothing that causes me any problems. But Perform, in particular, although it's delicious,
lactose maybe.
But lactose foods are fine.
You can eat pizza fine.
I can eat anything fine. But Perform clogs me up.
Do you know what it might be? It might be the sweeteners.
Could be.
I don't know if you eat many sweeteners elsewhere, but
no, I don't think so.
Because sweeteners are really bad for your gut.
Yeah,
and it's annoying because every like health supplement has them in. Even digestion supplements have sweeteners in, which is a bit counterintuitive. But
sure,
could be that, man.
Perform is like
I don't use Perform.
It's like putting cement in my body. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I can go. I swear to God, this sounds like I'm just making it up. I have gone at times, and a lot of times, 5 days without having a shit.
Fucking hell, bro.
I swear to God, you can ask my mates. I've had serious problems. And like, I've been to doctors a couple of times where I'm like, I'm eating this food.
It's worried because it's
I haven't
worrying.
even really got like, I don't like bloat or anything. I just go days without having a shit. And then I swear to God, whenever I come off protein powder, especially Perform, I am back to normal.
Right.
So I've done 2 weeks now where I've not had Perform. I bought it off you. I had it for about a week. But I've been on Perform before that as well. Basically, I'd run out, came and bought more off you. But when I bought it off you, it was in my head. I love protein porridge. Like, I love starting my day with porridge with Perform, and it's like the perfect breakfast. Yeah. But for ages, it took me so long. It took me so long to be like, that is causing the problem. Just cut it out. And now that I have, shitting.
Yeah, which is nice.
I'm just healthy, mate. I'm just healthy without it.
You worry that because if you go like more than 2 days, you start worrying you've got some kind of intestinal blockage or something.
Definitely, mate. And I was doing that all the time.
That's rough.
All the time.
Yeah, I don't know, but some people can tolerate them well. I don't use
Oh,
them.
yeah, I'm not saying this is like applies to everyone.
No, well, I don't use any protein.
Yeah.
And I own a fucking supplement shop. So.
Mad. Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
For what reason?
I just think I get enough in my diet anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm not that bothered, like I said earlier, I'm not that bothered about muscle gain anymore.
Yeah.
I'm actually losing weight at the minute just from doing a lot of fasting.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing longer fasts, like 24, 48 hours, even 72 hour.
Have you done 72-hour fast?
I've pushed it past 60, but I am going to do a 72 hour. I think it'd be easy to do it, to be honest.
That sounds like I just won't be able to do that.
Nah, you would, mate. Trust me.
Like, I can even sometimes go like 12 hours without eating and I'll be feeling
Do you reckon you
mad
could
hungry.
It's been 4 hours since I last ate, and I'm
Feeling
dying to
peckish.
eat. Yeah.
It is hard, isn't it? Honestly, the idea of that.
I
just
reckon I
don't feel
could do it, yeah, because I feel like you get past the point where you're not hungry anymore.
It'd be a good video.
But I feel
know
like
it would,
I'd
yeah.
feel weak. I'd need water. at least.
Honestly,
Well, I'd seen, sorry to
mate, yeah.
butt in, but that Dr. James, him who posts on Instagram, it's always just like written word, and they're just always like straight to the point, like facts.
Right.
The bangers. He posted something the other day about like when you are fasting, more often than not, it is just a lack of salt. Like even if you get any water in, if you just put a bit of salt in your water, saying that makes all the difference. So
it does, yeah.
I'd seen that and I was like, all right, well maybe if I did give it a go and I tried that, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah,
how
it would
goes
be a
down.
good video.
Well, there's studies done on mice now that show if they fast them once a month for 48 hours compared to a group that are eating in a calorie deficit, they can live up to 35% longer. And I know that's rats, or mice, sorry, but it's fucking pretty mad, isn't it?
For sure, yeah.
The first 24 hours is probably the most difficult. So say you finish eating Friday night, like 7 p.m, you obviously continue your fast. Like Saturday night, 7 p.m, you start getting quite hungry. Mm-hmm. So that's obviously when the sun's gone down, you start chilling, and you're like, fucking hell, I could scran now. Yeah. But if you can fight past that and fall asleep, when you wake up in the morning, you feel fucking unreal. You feel so good, like mentally clear.
Yeah.
I even like this Saturday, I walked dog for an hour.
You having like black coffee or when you do it?
Oh yeah, I have coffee and electrolytes, which I wouldn't recommend. To be fair, coffee's good for the appetite, but it just cause on an empty stomach, it just flushes you out.
Yeah.
Like mad. You're just empty. Just toilet. You're in toilet, and it's just pure liquid. But so walked dog for an hour. Went to the gym for like an hour and a bit. Still felt absolutely unreal. I felt like fucking hell, I want to do something. I didn't. I just sat and chilled, but the hunger just goes away, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
But most of the time I cut it off at 48 hours because you get most of the... And
how often are you doing it?
I mean, I've only just started doing it recently, but I'll probably do it once a month.
Yeah?
Probably do it once a month, yeah. It's the autophagy that's the main benefit of it. So your body's replenishing, like recycling dead cells and getting rid of some other cells that are just no longer useful. So most of the benefit, it peaks at 48 hours, but you get some more autophagy at 72 hour. And then after that, you see drastic muscle loss. So your body does quite a good job of holding onto your muscle in that period of time because your HGH is so elevated.
Right.
But once it gets past that 72 hour, your body starts tapping into muscle tissue.
Yeah.
Because I know some people that fast for like weeks at a time.
I'm proper into parkour and whatever, so like he doesn't do it, he's not so much involved nowadays, but he wants a guy called Tim Sheaf. He did a 30-day fast. He's got it on YouTube where he does 30 days with no food, and then he's got a video where he eats some watermelon or maybe normal melon.
Or just to settle him in.
That's his first thing he eats in 30 days, and he's just so malnourished, or he looks so malnourished on it. It's a mad video.
Is he actually skinny as well?
Oh yeah, he's lost like load size on it. You can tell that he's not eating.
But I mean, like body fat wise.
Yeah. It's a crazy video.
Because people don't realise it's obvious to us.
Yeah.
Obviously, body fat stored energy.
Yeah.
But when you hear about someone who's done like, there's a guy who did a 365-day fast.
No food?
No food, but he was absolutely fucking massive. He was one of them guys that you see get on scales at.
How can that be done now?
Well, he weighed something like 450 pounds. So if you work it out,
Yeah, but
how many
your
calories?
body needs summer.
There is. I swear, there's a guy who did 365
I don't
days.
doubt you.
We'll have to.
I'd have to have a look.
I'd have to have a look again, but
that seems crazy.
he was that fat that obviously his body just run fine on nothing.
Sure.
Yeah.
But there's guys in shop who come in, just random blokes, and they do a lot of fasting. And some of them are fat, so I think, it's probably easy for you. If you were lean, obviously, it's going to be harder. But mate, if you've made a video on it, I'd jump on it. It's do a fast.
Might do. Fucking hell.
Bit of a challenge, but I think a lot of people are interested in it.
Yeah, I back up, definitely. Might do that.
Yeah.
Quite an easy one, isn't it, really?
Just, 48 hours with no food, put some pink Himalayan salt in your water. And it's cheap and all, mate.
I'm going to do that.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
I'll watch it, mate.
Why not?
I think you could push it to 72, like I say, but it's one of them. It's just...
Not right away.
No, probably do.
Yeah. It's one of them, like, it could never go so wrong, could it? If you felt like, oh my God, I'm actually going to die, you just...
That's it, yeah. First time I did 48 hour, I had an haircut at that time it also had an haircut at 45 hour in. I just took a fucking, a chocolate bar in my pocket in case I felt like I would have killed over.
Yeah.
But go on then, mate. What's plans other than
just
bulking?
Just
or maybe not bulking.
Just for now, just hibernating really, and just getting all my stuff edited that I've backlogged through the summer. Yeah, I'm looking forward to not going anywhere or anything. Yeah.
Have you got any work planned then? Or?
I've just got a load of work filmed from this summer.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, because I have a busy summer. Some of these videos, wedding videos and whatever, it's so hard to sit down and start editing something when you know that you're gonna maybe go away in a few days. Something I've been going away every couple of weeks really this summer. So it's just I like to, and I've done this for the last few years. I kind of enjoy my summer, get a load of bits filmed, and then there's always a certain point where I'm like, right, that's kind of my last trip, and then from that point on, I'm just I need to just knuckle down and just stay home and focus and get shit edited. Yeah. But it's nice because it I don't have to go out so much in the winter.
Yeah.
Weather's dead and that, so I only really go out I only leave a house on a normal day to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then through the week, I'll only really leave a house on a weekend if something social's going on.
Yeah, class. Yeah. What's long-term plans then?
Keep making videos, become a YouTube star.
Become a YouTube star.
I mean, I say it's a plan. It's not.
Would it be the dream
it's a dream. It's a long-term dream.
Just do your own content eventually.
Yeah. That'll be it. What about you?
Mate? Just keep growing the supplement brand.
Yeah.
Podcast studio.
I feel like you've burst on the scene out of nowhere, and that you're definitely smashing it. Because I used to go to when it was called the supplement shop.
Yeah.
I've been going there for years, and then I don't know how long you've had the shop, but
2 years.
So. Yeah, for a little while, or I reckon within them 2 years, I started getting everything off my protein.
Yeah.
So there was never a reason for me to go into a shop.
Yeah.
And then I heard you had Perform, and I heard you were going for a good rate, and that's why.
Is that what you heard?
I think you sell it quite cheap from what I've seen online.
The thing is for me, mate, the shop, it's there and it's a good place to be for the wolf supplement side of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can afford to take a smaller margin. I'd rather more people come in. I don't want to be sat there fucking twiddling my thumbs waiting for people to come in. So,
of course.
Whereas before, everything was priced high, like you would expect in a supplement shop.
Yeah.
But I was wolf supplements is paying enough. It pays enough for me to just live on that. But so that means I can afford to just throw money at the shop and take a smaller margin and just enjoy being there. So
yeah, brilliant, bro. Yeah, you're definitely, since you've had that. I feel like when it was the supplement shop, you wouldn't necessarily see that around. Whereas what you're doing now, you're following, everything's flying. I think so. I feel like you're
going well, man. Yeah, we're just enjoying it out, which is
Are
you always the man behind the cam with it all?
I am. Yeah. As of the last 12 months or so. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So gym reviews, this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do all reels and stuff down for you.
Yeah, and we've obviously got podcast business as well, which is weirdly taking off, isn't it?
Yeah, this past week someone's just clicked.
Yeah.
You just get a few clients and it's fucking hell, a bit busy now. But yeah, keeping busy, mate. Keeping busy. Hopefully it keeps going.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure it will.
For everyone.
Nice, boys.
Yeah.
Cheers for coming down,
right.
Bro.
Thank you very much for having me, boys. It's been a pleasure. I've got a cheesecake at home that I'm going to go devour.
Have you, mate?
sweating a bit. I'm red hot.